yo, and hello and welcome to the 80th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go up for free every Wednesday in audio format on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast directories, and in video format on YouTube, so you can see us in stunning HD. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can listen to episodes, subscribe for behind-the-scenes news, read some radical articles, and buy some sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeak Podcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, Jamal Aljaafreh, alongside Brent Bass is the greatest.
Brent Bass is the latest. What's up, man?
Nothing, man. I'm like slurring my speech over here. It sounds like I've been drinking all day.
You know, it happens to the best of us. Yeah, I almost said the breast of us, so it almost just happened just then.
See? It does happen to the... You are the greatest, right?
I am. So it happens to the greatest and the latest of us. Man, 80 episodes, dude.
80, dude.
80 weeks.
80... How long is that? I don't even know. Like, how many... Isn't it like 52 weeks? 56
Something
weeks?
Something like that, yeah. I think it was... What episode was our 1 year episode? That would answer that question.
It was like 56, I think. We're going to sound really dumb.
It was definitely in the 50s. There's around 50 weeks. we're almost pulling up quick on
2
year
years.
2.
Yeah. Wow.
Some wild stuff right there.
I know. We need to get David Stanley back on here. He was talking about it the other day.
What was he talking about?
Just that he was like, yo, I should come on the show and talk shit about the Pokemon games. And I was like,
I would love that more than anything.
That's what I was saying. I was like, he should just come back on just so we can critique the Pokemon X and Y games. Because that's what he said. He was having some issues with those games.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I need to hear about these issues.
But yeah.
What you been doing lately, man? What's your past week been like?
So, I started watching this show called Maniac.
Oh, me too.
Dude.
Let's talk about it. Have you finished it?
No, don't tell me the end.
Okay. I finished it, so.
Dude,
Where are you at so I can avoid spoiling anything for you?
Just so this doesn't spoil it for other people. I mean, it doesn't really spoil it because this isn't going to make any sense.
Fuck other people. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck you listening. No, I'm just kidding.
He just became a hawk.
Oh, okay. So you're right at the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to the end.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna spoil nothing. It's a wonderful show. It's very weird. For those of you at home listening, you know, we all got Netflix or access to somebody's Netflix. I mean, let's be real here, guys.
Hell, you probably got our Netflix.
Yeah. So you know, go home, watch this shit. I mean, it's got Emma Stone, skinny Jonah Hill.
Yeah, very skinny
Jonah Hill. It's weird.
Sickly Jonah Hill.
It's strange. Very strange.
Disturbing. No, I'm just kidding.
The plot is very weird. It's very, very weird. I
really like the way it looks, like the artistic style that they chose. Like it's very like RoboCop, but made today. You know?
Yeah, totally.
There's like little robots, but it's like the 80s. Like it looks like the 80s style of like, you know, something out of an 80s movie, but it has like futuristic like technology that doesn't make sense for the 80s.
It kind of I noticed that. There's a lot of like technology. I think it's set in like a not so far off future kind of, you know what I mean? I don't know. It bounces around between being like really serious and really...
It's a dark comedy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, with like science
but it's got its
aspect.
Serious moments, like, you know, like, I don't know. It's good. It's really entertaining. It's unique.
Yes, definitely. It's very surreal. Like, I feel like you could definitely just, like, trip off of this show. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like, you don't need drugs. Just watch this show.
It's like a mix between, like, Inception and, like, James and the Giant Peach and, like, I don't know, some really normal show.
Some really normal show. Yeah, I like it a lot. I like how strange it is. It's just it's something about it. It's one of those shows that you know that like 10 years from now, kids are gonna wish they would have been born when it came out. You know, like they're gonna have like that oh, I'm gonna dress like this, you know.
I feel like over the next week it'll probably amass a pretty serious cult following too. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they kind of just slipped it in on Netflix. You know, I don't think a lot of people have found it yet, but it's really good, and I recommend checking it out.
Definitely. What have you been up to besides watching Maniac?
Pretty much just watching Maniac, man, and playing video games, and working, and then,
real
life stuff.
Oh man, no one likes that. Yeah, actually, one other thing I forgot. Yeah, I'm going back to Colorado, dude.
Oh yeah, wow.
Going back with
fun.
With
Where?
Kin Dog this time. Kenny and Brittany, where we just were like, let's see if we can find, just a plane ticket for November. And
where in Colorado are you going?
Denver.
Denver in November.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be really cold. I mean, it's already
You
like
think?
50 degrees there.
Yeah, it probably will be really cold. Hopefully, that's not a bad thing though in Colorado, because with the cold comes like some real pretty snowy scenic stuff.
Yeah,
so
dude.
I mean, hopefully you'll get a little snowfall.
And plus, we'll never get the cold here.
Right?
We'll never get it.
You might get unlucky as hell and it just not be cold at all. You never know.
I don't know. In November though, that's like
November in Denver,
especially like the end of November. So it's like right up on December.
It's gonna be a good time. Y'all should go skiing if it's. No, that might not even be possible at that point.
Yeah, I just want to find Santa.
He's just in Colorado.
All right. Let's jump into the video game news.
Oh gosh, we got a lot of news today, guys.
We do. Just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from all around the web, and we do not claim any of the material as our own. We are simply giving commentary on said articles.
So don't trip, dog.
Yeah, we ain't trying to say like, oh, we brought you the news. We're just trying to tell you that we brought you our feelings.
Yeah.
And
we did bring you the news, but we brought it to you from a very reputable news source.
Yeah, and we just put our bias on it. We just turn it into our decisions. No, I'm just kidding. What, you want to start it, or do you want me to start it?
I can start it. I got a lot.
Should we flip
stuff.
a coin?
We just flip a coin. Okay, so guys, in case you haven't seen it yet, there's some new Red Dead information and gameplay out there.
Yeah.
I've condensed a few of the highlights down to a little thing, so I thought I'd tell you guys a couple of the cool, fun features, maybe get you hyped about Red Dead 2. You know what I mean?
If you're not already,
if you're not
weird.
already, if you're not already, then there's something wrong,
Yeah.
But apparently, you're going to be able to blow people's limbs off.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Dude, this is exactly what I was talking about last week.
What, like shooting people's limbs off?
I need games like that. Like,
dude, well, apparently you've got it, dude.
Sweet.
You're going to be able to, like, completely decapitate people and blow their limbs off and shit, which is something we've seen in, like, old Rockstar games. Like, I mean, maybe not, like, arms and legs and shit.
But Vice City.
But,
blow
like,
heads off.
Another thing that's coming back from, like, old school Rockstar games is the ability to get your character fat by eating too much food.
Really? So
yeah.
I didn't know that was the thing.
Apparently, well, in San Andreas it was. You know how you could get
Yeah, no, but I didn't know
fat?
that was the thing in this.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing. Apparently, it's so detailed that, like, the horse, the testicles on your horse will shrink or grow depending on the weather, like how cold it gets. You know what I mean?
Okay, I don't know if we needed that.
Dude, we needed
It's like,
that.
dude, this is next level testicles.
Dude, I'm just saying, it's going to be so next level.
They better be in 4K.
Apparently, there's going to be, like, decision making in some of the levels that will have, like, impacts on, like, maybe not, like, the serious story or anything. I'm not sure how there is decision making. I'm not sure how impactful it will be. You know what I mean? But that's definitely cool.
I saw, I don't know if it's on there, but I saw that if you want to, like, grow your beard out, you actually have to let your beard grow out.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, you can't just go to the shop and, like, change your facial features or whatever. Like, whenever it comes to hair and stuff, you actually have to grow it out, and it has to be long enough if you want to get it trimmed into a certain type of beard or facial hair.
I was watching one guy's gameplay, and he, like, was riding his horse, and, like, some dude, like, knocked him off his horse, and, like, his hat fell off. And he, like, got back on his horse and he, like, escaped, but he didn't have his hat, and he had to go to the store and buy a new hat and shit.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I know, right? Fucking, there's animal tracking. Hunting was a big part of the original Red Dead game, and so now they've added this element where you can, like, track specific animals, and I don't know if you have to eat to survive or not, but I know that there's going to be a lot more emphasis on hunting. Like, you can, like, set up camp and cook your meat and stuff, so, I don't know if it just gives you health or if it's like necessary to the game. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently, one of the other cool things is like if you get blood on yourself, it'll like stay there unless you wash it off or like it rains. And then
that's dope.
Like if you walk into a town and you have blood all over you, then like people will be like, "What the fuck?" You know, like they'll question you.
Oh, that's so cool.
And like someone was talking about how they picked up a body. And like they had just killed a guy, and they picked up his body, and the blood like dripped down onto the clothes.
Oh, that's dope.
Like, dude, yes. And,
what?
And all from the same story. Hold on. The hand, like he put the guy down by a fire. His hand fell in the fire, and the fire went up the guy's arm, like the hand, then to the clothing, and then up the arm, and all that stuff. And like,
oh no, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's freaking insane,
dude. And one more good thing, the whole game apparently can be played in first-person mode, which is cool.
That is pretty cool.
Just like Grand Theft Auto, apparently. So.
You can live out your Western fantasies.
I mean, you know, I haven't played a good Western first-person game since like those old school like Call of Juarez games. You know what I mean? Like
Gun.
Gun was third-person too.
Was it?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
So. I think it was just like a shitty ass Red Dead.
It was really bad.
It was like a direct competition to Red Dead Revolver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Red Dead Revolver was obviously way better.
Yeah,
you know
it
was. What I mean?
Definitely. Did you have more on that? Or
no, that's it. That's it. But you know, get hyped about that shit because it's gonna be tight.
Get hyped. So, Pokemon Go's latest community day took place this past weekend, and by all accounts, it was a fairly standard event. However, something rather unusual happened right after the community day ended. A strange, never-before-seen Pokemon... Sorry, guys, I'm drinking Coke Zero, so I've got, like, the...
the Coke Zero burps.
Coke Zero burps, dude. After the community day ended, a strange, never-before-seen Pokemon briefly appeared in the wild. And at first, nobody knew what the Pokemon was, but the Pokemon Company has confirmed the unusual new monster, and its name is Meltan.
Whoa. So it's a whole new Pokemon?
Yeah, and it looks like Ditto, like underneath like a gray Ditto.
Well, Sarah, a member of our group, you know what I mean?
One of the homies,
posted some pictures in the group earlier that she actually has been catching these little bastards all day, but when she catches them, they turn into Dittos.
Yeah.
You know?
That's strange.
So.
That's very strange. Yeah, because there was like a part of the community day, or like a pop-up on the app told me that basically they were they were putting them out more often today or something all day. I don't know. I didn't get
Weird.
one. I tried.
So this is a whole new Pokemon, basically.
Yep. It looks like a little hex nut over a Ditto.
Oh, that's wild. I like that.
Yeah. So what you got over there?
I won't go into too much detail about this one, but there is a new trailer for Death Stranding out, and it's pretty interesting. Definitely worth a look. You know, I feel like the story in that shit is going to be weird as fuck, but you know, if you're hyped about it, check out the trailer. You know, it'll probably just make you more hyped about it.
Yeah, apparently one of the new characters it shows off is voiced by Troy Baker.
Oh, that's right. He did Solid Snake, right? Or
Troy Baker's done a bunch of shit.
He did BioShock Infinite, right?
Yeah.
He did a bunch of games. Yeah, he did Solid Snake and BioShock.
He's basically like any super or any like main protagonist in a video game with a voice.
But he's the antagonist in Death Stranding. Apparently.
Ooh, I like that. Switching sides.
What you got?
So, Sony has announced it will release a miniature version of the original PlayStation console that comes preloaded with 20 PS1 titles. Similar to Nintendo's throwback NES and SNES consoles, it's significantly smaller than the original, but the included replica controllers will be full size. It's called the PlayStation Classic, and it's set to release on December 3rd, exactly 24 years after the original system launched in Japan. It will cost $100 American. Of the 20 games that will be available on the console, Sony has only announced 5 so far. Final Fantasy VII, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer Type 4, Tekken 3, and Wild Arms.
Well, that's cool. I mean, at least you know you got some two-player action on there. And you got Final Fantasy VII, which in and of itself is like a long-ass, you know, RPG that you could play for, like, ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Hopefully the other 15 games don't just suck asshole, you know what I mean?
Which I don't think they will. I mean, this is already a pretty good roundup.
No. And there's a lot of good games to pick from the PS1 era, I feel you know?
Metal Gear.
This is one that I can really sink my teeth into. Like, don't get me wrong, the SNES, NES classics, all that shit, the TurboGrafx classic, all that's cool and all. But, like, this hits home in the nostalgia thing a lot more for me. You know what I mean? Like, the original PS controllers and, like, just the look and feel of the original PlayStation. Like, I remember it so much more vividly. You know, this is my childhood right here, so this is exciting. You know, this and an N64 classic would be crazy. You know, I would be...
Hell yeah.
Ooh, I'd buy both of them. And I'll probably end up buying this, honestly. You know, I almost bought the SNES classic a few times, but after seeing this, I think I'll probably just hold off
And I see a lot of people talking shit like, "Oh, well, you can just get ROMs and blah blah." It's like
a
this
Raspberry
isn't the
Pi
same
or something.
Thing, though.
Yeah, it really isn't. This is, first of all, it's got the actual casing is like super like legit and cool. It's more of a collector thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's like
a functional collector's item. You know what I mean? That's what I would consider it.
That's what, dude. When the N64 one comes out, I'm getting it. I know I'm gonna be so underwhelmed with whatever games they choose because, but I just want it, you know.
Yeah, same. And you know, I'm hoping and praying, and I doubt it'll happen, but I really hope they put Monster Rancher on the PlayStation Classic.
It wouldn't even work though, because I mean, think about like you have to put the disc. Or,
oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, that feature wouldn't work, but
that's like the coolest part about it.
Fair enough.
Maybe they have a way that it could work.
Yeah,
but
no, you're right about that, I guess.
Then they need to do an Xbox Classic, dude.
Oh, dude. I'm thinking in the next, give it about 5 or 6 more years for the Xbox to get a little more classic.
Yeah.
And I think they'll definitely do that.
And then they'll
you know what I mean?
Real classic.
I think a tiny, big-ass Xbox would be hilarious to have, though. You know what I mean?
Big-ass
like, it's
Xbox.
Little bitty, but it's still huge. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that would be dope. And you get the Dukes.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, it comes with some Dukes. The Dukes are just bigger than the Xbox. Like, let's see. Fortnite Season 6. Not
Season 6.
Season 6. Season 6 starts September 27th. A lot of S's going on there. Also, they added a grenade called the Portafortress that is like a Portafort, but guess what?
It's a grenade.
It's bigger than the Portafort. The Portafort is also a grenade.
Oh, okay. I don't play Fortnite.
They're both grenades.
I just imagine what these things look like and how they work because I have no idea.
Just imagine a grenade that makes a huge fort pop up wherever you throw it.
So what's the difference between this one and that one? It's just bigger?
Yeah. The Portafort is smaller, significantly. The Portafortress has like little jump pads all over it, so you can like bounce off if you're in danger.
Yeah. See, grown-up games don't have bouncy houses. Okay. I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, I'm not hating. I'm totally hating.
You're hating.
But I sent you that picture of the sign from the costume shop. Remember?
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy, isn't it?
It is. It is. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about right now, the Spirit Halloween's got Fortnite fucking costumes, and they're sold out, and you can only get 2 costumes at a time when they do have the costumes because they're selling them so fast, and people are buying them and price gouging them.
Yeah, and they have to be of the same, it said like same theme or something. It's like two customers or 2 items per customer, and both the items have to be of like the same character or whatever, I guess.
Oh, they got to be the same character? What?
Not like I don't
doesn't make any sense.
I don't remember what
that
it
seems
said.
like it would kind of like they can't be the same character would make more sense.
Hold on, let me see this.
You know what I mean?
It says limit 2 per style per customer. Oh yeah, you're right. So you can only get 1 of each like costume.
Oh, 2 per style. So you could get
No.
You could get 2 of each costume.
Yeah, limit 2 per style per customer. No. So you can get 2 costumes. That's it. Per customer, you can get 2.
If it says 2 per style, though,
yeah. So
couldn't you get 2 astronaut costumes and 2 llama costumes and 2?
I think it means like total limit 2 per person, but you can also only get 2.
That seems so weird. I mean, if somebody wants to come in and just buy them out, like why not let them? You know,
probably because of the like they don't have enough ready to put out more. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, who cares? You know.
That's
Be like,
true.
y'all should have got here earlier and bought all the shit. You know what I mean?
I feel like they just want people to be there all season. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
But let me see. So responding to fans' questions about the Fallout 76 beta length, Bethesda marketing boss Pete Hines said on Twitter, "We'll have more information for you on that soon, hopefully this week. Pre-ordering Fallout 76 is the only way to play the beta, and the beta starts in October, and thanks to a deal with Microsoft, it starts on Xbox One, followed by PS4 and PC. Intriguingly, the Fallout 76 beta website states the beta will contain the full game. This is noteworthy considering betas often feature only a slice of a final product. Another piece of good news is that all of your progress will carry over." But
it would be hard to just take a slice of a Fallout game. You know what I mean? And make it like a testable thing.
It
you
doesn't
know what
make
I mean?
sense.
Yeah. You almost have to put out the full game. So I'm kind of looking forward to the beta just because I'm not going to pre-order it probably just because that's just not me. I just don't pre-order shit. You know what I mean? I just don't.
Same.
Like, I like to buy it and then instantly have it. You know what I mean? That's just me, though. I understand people that do pre-order, so I'm not hating or anything. But my thing is, I can't wait for the beta to roll around because I can see how the game looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
see people's opinions of it. I think we can get some honest reviews going whenever the beta rolls around, and that'll be nice to know. And I can get myself hyped for whenever release rolls around.
Yeah, I'm just ready for the game. Like, whatever. Like the beta hype and stuff doesn't really matter to me. I just want it to drop.
Although I'm suddenly almost more hyped up about Red Dead now. I'm really stoked about Red Dead. I think it's
with all the
cool.
realism in it.
It almost has like a cyberpunk feeling level of realism in it. You know what I mean? Like
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I agree.
Like the detail and stuff. I don't know. It feels like it's gonna be really good.
Definitely.
Here is a big long chunk of really sad news that most of you have probably already heard. But I'm going to go ahead and tell it to you anyway. On Friday, TellTale Games made the shocking and sad announcement that it was enacting a, quote, majority studio closure, resulting in the loss of more than 200 jobs.
200.
According to the developers who were there as part of the shutdown, TellTale Games employees were told to leave the building within 30 minutes after the news was announced. Sorry, I also am drinking some sort of soda beverage, so we're just burping it up over here. One of the developers who lost their job, narrative designer Emily Grace Buck, shared a new update on the situation today. On Monday, September 24th, all the former employees will get to come back to the studio for a period of 3 hours to collect any belongings they were not able to collect on Friday. Quote, "Despite my tweets, it hasn't really hit me yet. But I know tomorrow it will." Grace Buck wrote about coming back to the studio on Monday. As part of the studio shutdown, TellTale parted way with 225 employees, with its remaining 25 staying on as a skeleton crew. According to CEO Pete Howley, it was an incredibly difficult year for TellTale. While the company was proud of its releases, the games did not sell well enough, Howley said. In the wake of the shutdown, many are wondering what's going to happen with the future installments of numerous TellTale franchises, including The Walking Dead. The final season's next episode is due out on Tuesday, but it remains to be seen if the franchise will continue after that. It is also believed that TellTale's new game based on Stranger Things has been canceled. Officially, TellTale said it will announce specific details on its upcoming roadmap in the, quote, coming weeks. According to reports, TellTale's first The Walking Dead and its Minecraft game were financially successful, but every other release reportedly lost money. The Batman game, The Enemy Within, which in my opinion was one of the best TellTale games that was ever made, was reportedly one of TellTale's worst performing games ever. TellTale co-founder and former CEO Kevin Brunner said in a blog post that the reason he left TellTale was because he clashed with the board of directors about TellTale's future. He did not share any more details.
Well, I can tell you, and I've been telling you, they needed to update that shit. It looks so bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
It's like
I feel like they had a good thing going, and it's sad that they weren't selling more. I'm surprised they weren't selling more with the success commercially of like Life is Strange and Until Dawn and stuff like that.
But those games look good.
Well, and they play better. And maybe that's the problem. They have people out there beating them at their own game.
Exactly.
But I feel like there should be enough people, like with my mindset, that just can't get enough of this style of game, that just eat up whatever the people put out, Like, if I am even remotely interested in the content, I will buy that game, you know what I mean? Because I like the style of game, you know what I mean?
Apparently, there's not that many people like that, though.
It's a shame,
That's the thing, man. I feel like people are, they're given so many options and quality nowadays with everything, so it's really tough to decide. It's like, okay, do I get Life is Strange? Costs a little bit more, but it's not much more, and it looks way better. It feels better.
Well, the problem with Life is Strange, and not necessarily the problem with Life is Strange, but Don't Nod can't just pop out a Life is Strange game like every fucking few months, Whereas TellTale was putting out shitloads of games,
and never finishing them. That was a problem. You'd get
get finished. What do you mean?
After forever. Like, I'm saying they'd put out when was
sometimes
Borderlands
they were a little
season
behind
2
schedule.
Supposed to drop,
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
The Wolf Among Us came out like
finished, you know what I mean? Like, they all ended up getting finished eventually.
The Wolf Among Us never did.
The Wolf Among Us Season 2 never came out, but Season 1 got wrapped up pretty nicely.
But Season 1 was like one of their first games. That's the problem.
Well, that's one of the games that got canceled just now. Like, they were about to start working on it.
Yeah, they showed like a picture. Like, that's my thing is like, dude, they were one, stretching themselves too thin. Two,
definitely.
They had like a billion different licenses. People. They were just like, oh, we got Borderlands, we got Minecraft, we got Jurassic Park, we got this, we got that. It's like, okay, how about you just take one of those? We got Stranger Things, and make it good. Make that one.
They weren't bad though. I mean, you keep saying they're bad games. They're not bad games.
I personally don't like them. I'm not saying that they're not. The problem is that they're not bad games.
They're just not your style of game.
No,
that's
dude,
what it is.
I loved Wolf Among Us. It pissed me off that they never did anything with it afterwards. But like, it was still glitchy and buggy as fuck. It was a good game though, but like half the game, like, you could randomly like see through people's heads like during the cutscenes, or like they'd just like walk in and like, and then just like keep walking. Like, I'm sorry, but like, we're on fucking Xbox One and PS4. There's no room for that shit, especially if you're this big of a developer. Like, I'm just saying, they
like
had
you just said, that was one of their first
people.
games. What was the last TellTale game you honestly played?
The last one, like the most recent one I've played.
Yeah, like all the way through.
Probably Wolf Among Us.
There you go. That was one of their very first games like that.
But I have played their other games. I haven't beaten them, but I played a little bit of the Minecraft one, which everyone seemed to love for some fucking reason.
The Minecraft one, dude. Like, the Minecraft one pissed me off. So Minecraft one and the TellTale, or the Tales of the Borderlands. Couldn't stand either of those. And I can't stand how everybody loved the Tales of the Borderlands one and like completely rejected like the Batman series, which is, in my opinion, TellTale's like best work. It's fucking incredible. The Batman series is so good. The story's good. The art style is good. The fucking, like, everything about it was just awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, everybody just disliked it. Same with, in my opinion, the three best TellTale series are The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead, and Batman. Game of Thrones got a lot of flack, but I like Game of Thrones, too.
But you also haven't watched the show, so it's like, I think people were pissed off about the story for whatever reason. But this goes with it. But TellTale Games has announced that it found multiple potential partners who could help the studio complete and release the remaining 2 episodes in The Walking Dead, the final season. The announcement has seen a mixed reaction. Some say they are happy that The Walking Dead, the final season, could be completed, while others are dismayed that TellTale is choosing to go ahead and finish it without so many of the developers who worked on it.
Dude, fucking A. I mean, at least it's getting finished. Like, who cares how it's getting finished?
Well,
you know what I mean?
People care because of the people. I'll show you. This is the update. So, basically, the reason why this is such a big deal, I saw it on Twitter as it was like happening. People were freaking out. Says, according to reports, TellTale laid off more than 200 staffers without any severance pay, leading to a rally on social media and elsewhere of people calling on TellTale to do right by its employees. And that site has now received a big jolt of prominence as God of War director and industry veteran Cory Barlog has called on TellTale to make things right with its now former employees. Quote, I would hope this means that you will first pay your entire team their severance and then proceed to finish the final episodes, Barlog wrote on Twitter. Quote, I would be fine waiting however long it took to ensure we first treated those who worked so hard with the humanity and respect they deserve. Someone pointed out that it is unknown if TellTale employees affected by the layoffs had terms in their contracts that guaranteed severance pay. Even if this wasn't in their contracts, Barlog said he hopes the decision makers are respectful enough to do right by their employees during a hard time. Quote, I think what I am suggesting is that when you look people in the eye and ask for their best to come together and create something great, you should take on that task as well. He said treating others with respect is not a law, but how great would the world be for our kids if it were? There's no word on who the mysterious potential partners are that TellTale could work with to complete The Walking Dead, the final season. TellTale was upfront about how it is making no promises about the final season, adding that even if episodes 3 and 4 are released, they might only come out in some form.
You also have to think, though, I mean, like, I agree. They need to pay these people their severance pay or whatever. You know what I mean? But you also have to think about the probably several thousand people that fucking paid for the fucking, full season of The Walking Dead and got one episode and then the game, the studio shut down. They're not getting their fucking money back either. You know what I mean?
The problem with the whole situation is that they basically, here's the update. Here's the update. So a former employee of TellTale Games has filed a class action complaint against the company in California federal court.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, the complaint alleges that the developer was obligated to provide 60 days notice of the impending termination, which they didn't tell anybody they were about to fire almost everyone.
Yeah. They shouldn't have even put out the first episode of The Walking Dead with the way their finances are. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like,
they knew they were going down.
Exactly. I mean, you can't... It's not like this just happened overnight. You
No,
know what I mean?
Like, and that's the other problem, is that they knew that they were going down, but what they were going to do was fire all these people so that they could keep the company going and, like, potentially build it back up.
They already did that, though.
Yeah.
They fired, like...
90 people.
90, yeah, like a third of their staff, like, fucking a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't new. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And he said a year ago, after they did this, like a few months after they did this, that everything was back in order and everything was good. You know what I mean? Like, this guy just got hired too. The new CEO of TellTale. He just came on in like 2017 and has literally ran TellTale into the ground.
Either that or he was just like riding it, like
a fucking already sinking ship.
Yeah, he was like, I can get some pay out of this and then it'll go on my resume.
Well, I mean, look at his other past projects though. He was Lionhead Studios CEO for a while, right?
Who did Lion or
Fable?
What did
they did the Fable series.
God, that's
look
so
at his
terrible,
track
dude.
record, bro. I don't know. I'm just
He's
saying.
gonna be a curse to the video game. Well, they didn't provide 60 days notice of the impending termination in compliance with the state's WARN Act. Kotaku reports that the complaint filed by attorneys for Vernie Roberts Jr. is seeking missed wages, salaries, 401k contributions, and any other compensation that would have been earned during the 60-day WARN Act period. The suit also names, quote, all other persons similarly situated who could join the class action, which could be as many as 275 employees who were fired from TellTale last week. As the report notes, companies have some wiggle room with exceptions to the WARN Act, such as if the company is seeking to acquire new capital and can't risk the information of pending layoffs becoming public. It's unknown how many employees will join or if the lawsuit will ultimately be successful. The closure was sudden and surprised employees who were left with no severance and only 9 days of remaining health benefits. The reported rationale for the lack of severance was that this was being classified as a business closure rather than partial layoffs. TellTale has now said that The Walking Dead, currently in its final season, may continue with potential partners, which could raise legal questions about the studio's closure. So like they basically are just scummy. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised one of these big studios didn't buy up TellTale, like EA or something. You know what I mean? One of these studios that
they
buys
probably didn't
everything.
tell anybody. They probably weren't like, "Hey guys, we're failing."
Yeah, I think if they had just reached out, one of these bigger studios would have definitely sucked them up. Look at like Valve buying Campo Santo or whatever. You know what I
don't
mean?
think they
Shit
wanted
like
that though. I don't think they wanted to be bought up. But that's why they didn't fully close down.
That's what they. Sometimes what you want and what you need are two different things.
But that's the thing. I think that they thought they could get away with this. They're just like, we'll fire everyone. We'll restart from ground. Just from the ground up. We'll build our studio back up. That way, we still own it. It's not.
I think they thought people were going to flip their shit over the last season of The Walking Dead and buy up enough copies of it to where they could get back on their feet. You know what I mean? And it didn't work out the way they wanted it to.
I mean, I can see that too.
Because they lowered the price. A normal TellTale game is $25 for the season, and this one was $20 for the season.
Well, I saw that they came out and said that they lost money on every game except.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, but the fact that they have lost money on every single game since like the first or second season of The Walking Dead. Like,
that surprises me.
It's like, how the fuck do you stay open?
How is that even possible? Like, I mean, think about it.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because they should, I feel like they've definitely sold a fuckload of copies.
Yeah, but
lots
they sell
of people
them
have
cheap.
that shit.
They're like $5 like a pop. And most people probably buy that first episode and then never finish
That's
it.
the problem. Their games were too cheap. But then again, you look at games like Until Dawn that are also like $20.
$20 for the full game. These would come out like episode per episode. People would play the one episode. They take
no, they wouldn't.
Or not
episode for episode.
Season.
They're like $25.
Yeah, by the time they put
game.
Do they put out all the episodes at once?
No.
That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. They put them out.
But they don't put out all the episodes of Life is Strange out at once, and it's commercially successful.
Yeah, but there's not like 9 seasons. It's like, here's a game. After all these episodes are done, it'll be a full game.
I mean, there's like 2 seasons and a third one on the way. You know what I mean?
Not seasons. It's like, here's
they are.
story 1. Here's story 2.
Life is Strange is called Life is Strange Season 1. Life is Strange Season 2 is coming. Or no, I guess you're right. Life is Strange 2 is
just 1 and 2.
But, even so, it is the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. I disagree.
How is it not?
Because,
what's different other than the title?
Because
of being
there's a through line from season 1 all the way to the season that was supposed to come out now. There's a through line that you can't complete that game until you have all of these seasons. And the problem is that they put them out so infrequently and never on the right dates that they give out that people forget about it and they don't care anymore, by the time that they do drop it. And it's like they instead of getting a full game and being like, here, you know what? Here's a full season. We're not going to put them out episode by episode. We want $20 for this. They get $5 off of that first episode. People never come back, so they only make $5 off of one episode for an entire season.
Almost all of the last of TellTale's games gave out the first episode for free.
Even
on
worse.
Almost every platform.
Even fucking worse.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. It's like
my point. Is that
But so they don't even make anything off of it. I mean, they're literally telling you they lost money on every game. I'm telling you, it's got to be that. Like, why else would you lose money? I'm not saying it's not.
I'm just saying,
it's like
you can't say that Life is Strange is not a seasonal thing. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not though. It's not. It's made to be. This is game 1. This is game 2, coming out complete like years apart. It's like, okay.
So you think the storylines in Before the Storm and fucking Life is Strange Season 1 don't tie together?
I think that they tie together, but I don't think you have to know what happens in Before the Storm to understand what's going on in that game. And whenever you play,
you don't have to play Wolf or Life is or fucking The Walking Dead Season 1 to play The Walking Dead Season 2. I mean, it helps.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
That's the whole point of the thing, is to have like your decisions carry over. What's the point of jumping into 2 if you haven't done 1? And knowing the characters and knowing which characters
you don't have to have your decisions
on.
carry over. And the story is self-contained. You know what I mean? It's totally its own independent game. Now, if you have played the preview, it's like Mass Effect. You could play Mass Effect 2 without playing Mass Effect 1, but if you want to import your character from Mass Effect 1...
Which is like a huge factor.
It's not a huge factor at all.
That's a huge factor.
It makes almost no difference. You can virtually recreate your choices and appearance and
right at the beginning of the game.
Right at the beginning of the game.
But
same with TellTale. You can pick your major decisions from your last game. Like, say I played on PS4 Season 1 of The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? It'll ask you, have you played this before? And if you say yes, it'll walk you through like important decisions and be like, okay, which decision did you make at this point? And if you say no, it'll pick a predetermined set of decisions for
I
you.
understand what you're saying, but I'm saying most people would rather have played it.
Sure, yeah. But most people would rather play Life is Strange 1 before Life is Strange 2, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Even though they are independent stories.
But exactly, but they're not coming out in episode by episode, season by season.
But they are coming out episode by episode, season by season.
No,
it's not like you get one episode per month with Life is Strange.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's the same with any of the Telltale games.
But to
There's
make
no
a
difference.
full complete game by the time that they all drop. With The Walking Dead, it's not a complete game once you get all of the episodes for one season.
I consider each season a complete game.
You do, but most people think of The Walking Dead as a continuation.
When you open up season 1, it opens up its own game. When you open up it's not like you open up The Walking Dead as one app and then you pick your season and go in. They're all independent of each other games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. My point is that the characters still exist in the next game.
Just because
like,
the characters exist
them,
from the last game does not mean it's not a different game.
And if they're based on your situations from the first game, if you have that option, you're going to want to carry on that same storyline.
So The Witcher 3 carries on the same storyline from The Witcher 1 and 2. And
yes.
I guarantee you 95% of the people who played The Witcher 3 did not play The Witcher 1 and 2.
No.
Does
that
discredit
has way more
The Witcher
appeal
3 as
because
a game?
It's an open
Does
world
that discredit Witcher 3 as a game?
No, because it's not The Walking Dead and it's not TellTale. It's not a game where it looks like a cartoon and at the same time there's
absolutely
nothing else
nothing to do with it.
The game is based around story, Brent. Like literally, that's
so
all
is
that
The
game
Witcher.
is.
The Witcher has a lot of story too.
It has a lot of story, but that's not the only thing to it. Literally, TellTale's Walking Dead is a story. That's it. It's not a game. It's a story.
My point is, you could play any of them and understand the story. You don't have to. They're all independent situations in Clementine's life. Like if
in Clementine's life, who's Clementine? If you've never played the first one,
it'll explain it if you boot up the fucking second one.
Yeah, it'll explain it to you, but you won't have been there.
It doesn't matter. And my point is, you could play it if you wanted to. It's its own thing.
But people didn't. That's the problem. That's my point. That's my whole point. Is nobody did. You know, like
okay, but that doesn't mean that it isn't. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, like, I'm telling you, people don't give stuff time. You give stuff time. You are an exception. Other people.
I'm not arguing with you about that. All I'm saying.
Most people look at it
Life
like,
is Strange is an episodic thing.
But there also
it's a seasonal thing.
Another thing with Life is Strange. You don't have 29 other licensed games trying to happen at the same time.
No.
It's all of their people are focused on that one game to make it.
Again, I'm not arguing with you about any of that at all.
Yeah,
I'm just saying you can't say that Life is Strange is different because it's the same exact format.
I still think it's different. I think it's different, man. Like playing The Walking Dead Season 1 compared to playing Life is Strange it felt completely different to
because
me.
They're different games.
Exactly.
By different companies.
That's what I mean.
But they're the same format of release window
I feel
style.
like we're arguing the same thing to each other, but like with a different way of explaining it. All I'm saying is that it didn't sell well because it didn't have mass appeal. That's it. For some reason, it didn't have mass appeal. But Life is Strange, maybe they didn't have to sell as many because they weren't making as much. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
It could all just be based on that. You know, the fact that they had too much stuff coming out and not enough people to buy it. But with the Life is Strange, that they had that one sole purpose. It's like, I'm going to sell this. You know, it can't be too hard to sell one good game. But whenever you've got like 3 great games, 1 bad game, a good game, and like all of that money is coming from the same spot, I just feel like maybe that's what crushed them.
Well, yeah, but if you'd think that some of the games would be successful and some of them would fail if that was the case. You know what I mean? I don't understand why they all were commercially not successful. You know what I mean? Like, why every single, even Minecraft and some of the ones that, in my opinion, weren't that good, but seem to do better. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're just bad business people. Maybe
it's got to be what it, they had to have spent
money.
too much money making these games. I think that's what the case is. I'm thinking they hired voice actors that were way too expensive or some shit. I really don't know. Where did the money go? Because it's not like, they were the most technical and polished looking games. I don't know.
Well, you got to like I said about the licensed games. Maybe it costs way more than you think to get a licensed game.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And most of their games were licensed. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I feel like with Stranger Things, the licensing fees couldn't have been cheap. Especially right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's like buying,
But then again, you would also think, like, on games like Tales from the Borderland, that Gearbox and places, like, publishers that are associated with Borderlands would be, like, more supportive financially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think those might be cheaper. But, you're looking at, like, with Batman, that's a huge deal,
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
To get the rights to Batman must have been super expensive.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy. Anyways, what you got?
Let's see. Nintendo's online subscription service for Switch has arrived.
We did that last week. We even talked about pricing.
Did we?
Yeah,
oh, okay,
and
cool.
the games available.
Cool. Did we talk about how you have to check in every 7 days if you want to play your games offline and stuff?
No.
Okay, well then let me read this. Nintendo's online subscription service for Switch has arrived, along with online play and cloud save backups. One of the benefits it provides is access to NES, Nintendo Switch Online, a library of NES classics exclusively for subscribers. There are 20 titles available in the library right now, with more to come every month, and they all feature modern amenities such as save states, HD resolution, and even online play. If you're interested in trying out the latter, however, it may not be readily apparent how to access, how exactly to play NES games online with a friend. If you subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online service, you'll be able to download the NES app from the Switch eShop or Nintendo's website for free. You'll have unlimited access to this app for as long as you remain a subscriber, and the NES games can be played offline for up to 7 days. But you'll need to check in periodically to verify that you still have an active subscription.
Oh my god.
Once you've installed the NES app, you'll be able to play any of the included NES games either solo or with another player. Many of the titles in the initial lineup feature a dedicated two-player mode, but some, such as The Legend of Zelda, only support one player. In these games, you and your friends will be able to share the same screen and switch between who is controlling the game at any time. To set up an online session, you'll first need to select the Play Online option from the left sidebar. Once you've chosen that, you can see the screen below, just kidding. There's no screen below.
It was like, what?
We're just talking. Which displays a box of the players on your friends list who are playing the app online. Chances are the box will say it is unable to find a friend's game session. So, select the Play While You Wait option beneath the box, and one of your friends will then be able to join you.
It's so ridiculous. Also,
very complicated, yeah.
Big problem with that is that you can't play online with random people. They have to be your friend. Like
that is kind of annoying.
It's dumb. That's like, what's the point? Come on.
Like, what if you don't have friends?
We're grown people
with no friends.
Like, let us play with people. We're not. I understand kids play the Switch, but I feel like more kids have PS4s and Xboxes.
And
now.
Not to mention, we're in the future. Like there are such things as parental controls that can lock that shit down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
your kid's gonna find terrible things everywhere. Anyways, like what's so bad about having a kid play a video game with like a random person online?
Yeah,
I just don't understand. I don't understand that.
Totally.
It's not like some dark chat room or something.
It can get pretty dark, but
Yeah, but it's usually the kid that makes it dark. They're usually
totally.
the mean ones.
I didn't even think about that. It's always the kids that are saying the fucked up shit.
We should get like some type of
we need
control.
Yeah,
where it like blocks other people's kids from getting onto our online matches.
God, imagine how like violent these like all children matches are. Like,
oh my gosh, it's just a constant shriek. Anyways, Black Panther star Michael B. Jordan it has signed on to play a role in the upcoming Rainbow Six movie and another Tom Clancy film. According to Variety, Jordan will play John Clark in the movies based on Clancy's books Rainbow Six and Without Remorse. The Without Remorse movie is coming first, as it is an origin story for the character, with the Rainbow Six film landing later.
Huh. I don't know why. I didn't realize Rainbow Six was a book.
If it's Tom Clancy, it's a book.
Not always. I mean, Splinter Cell the game came out before Splinter Cell the book came
Oh,
out.
no, but I just
You know
mean,
what I mean?
like, if there's a Splinter Cell game, they are going to turn it into a book.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you put the Tom Clancy name on it, it's going to eventually get a book. But the question is, did Rainbow Six come out before the book, or did the book come out before Rainbow Six?
I don't know.
You know?
And who decided which Tom Clancy books would make better games?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't we get Patriot Games as a video game? It literally has game in the title.
Yeah, for
know?
Sure. That would have made a dope video game.
It's just weird to me.
Or The Fugitive. That would have been a cool video game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think...
was that a Tom Clancy book?
I thought so.
Yeah, I think it is. I think so.
There's basically anything about being under siege or anything that has anything to do with Patriots and random like code words for a team.
Yeah, any kind of Red Octobers, anything like that.
Yeah, it's always something ridiculous. I think there's like hundreds of Tom Clancy books.
He wrote a lot of them, man.
He didn't even write them. He's dead. Tom Clancy's dead.
It's like Tom Clancy's spirit just lived on, and all these other people that wrote Tom Clancy books. That's the one thing. I feel like Tom Clancy wrote like
2 books, maybe.
I mean, he wrote a good couple of books when he was active, but like, I don't know. There's so many books that just say Tom Clancy really big on it, and then at the very bottom it's like by John something. You know what I mean? Or some random shit like that. You know.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna look this up. It's like one of the top questions.
How many books has John Clancy written?
It literally, the answer is at least 12.
At least 12? Why can't they give us a specific amount?
Maybe he had ghostwriters.
Maybe there's some that are like sitting in a chest in his room somewhere that he just never felt were good enough to put out. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking
that's a shockingly low number, actually.
Yeah, didn't Stephen
12?
King write like...
Dude, Stephen King has written
books?
a fuckload of books. I could tell you 12 Stephen King books just off the top of my head, like real talk.
I couldn't, but I do know there's a lot of them. I know if you go into like a bookstore, you'll see like 3 whole shelves just for his shit.
There's at least 12 Stephen King movies based on his books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
TV shows, miniseries.
Dude.
And they're all like random shit, like The Dark Tower.
That's
like,
one
what?
thing about Stephen King is like he doesn't like everybody recognizes him as a horror writer, but he's got a lot of books that have no horror.
It's like sci-fi,
in them, like The Green Mile. I mean, there's definitely some weird, fucked up elements, you know, but The Green Mile was definitely not a horror book. You know what I mean? Like same with like you were saying, what's it? The Dark Tower, 11/22/63. You know what I mean?
He's just an all-around storyteller.
Yeah.
I saw something where he was like, I wish I would have wrote Goosebumps or something like that, and I was like,
Goosebumps would have been fucked off if Stephen King had written Goosebumps, dude. I wish Stephen King would have written Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Imagine Slappy the Dummy, but like the Stephen King version, like that'd be terrible.
Yeah, it would have just been that movie that came out with the weird doll.
Which one?
What was it? It was like Dead Silence or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But like he would have made.
I thought you were talking about The Boy for a second.
Oh no, Annabelle.
Dude, The Boy sucked ass. Did you see The Boy?
I don't watch scary movies if they're not like 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes anymore. Like I just can't. I
love horror movies, man. I watch them all. But
if they're not gonna give me something to work with, I can't do it anymore. I just can't waste my time on it. Like I used to love B-rated shitty scary movies.
Yeah. I love all that.
But I like watching it with people. And for the most part, I'm like I just get off work, I come home, and I'm like, okay, I can watch something with substance, or I can just rot my brain out with this like shitty B movie that I know is gonna suck ass. It's like, so I just find something good, you know?
Fair enough. I mean, I like to watch it with people. I'm not just sitting in my house watching fucking B movies all day, you know, by myself. You know,
it's like popcorn in hand, like fucking. I get what you're saying though, like, but I think the most recent shitty B movie that I watched was The Nun. Dude, just like we went and saw that in theaters.
Oh, that was terrible, dude.
Oh my god,
I fell asleep during that fucking movie, dude.
It was so bad.
That might be one of the reasons why I thought it was so bad, because like I went in and I like watched like the first few jump scares and then I fucking passed out, dude. And I woke up and like everything was just going ape shit. There's like the bitch is like fucking coming out of the floor and there's water everywhere, and I fell back asleep and then I woke up.
Fell asleep at the end.
I was like, dude, I was out of there, dude. I probably watched 40% of that movie, but the parts that I did see did not impress me very much. So.
Nobody died. Nobody died.
Really?
How the fuck are
At
you
all?
gonna? Only one person in that entire movie actually died, and it was a nun, and like as somebody who was super like
the nun that hung herself.
Yeah,
right?
that was it. That was the only person in the entire movie that dies, and it's in the very first like 3 seconds of the movie, and it's a character that is
no, because that one nun dies too. There's the nun that hung herself, and then there's the nun that got dragged into the fucking basement.
But they don't show what happens to her.
But we can assume that she died.
We can just
because
assume
all the
she's
nuns
dead.
were dead at the place. That was like the whole point of the thing, is that everybody was dead, right?
Yeah, but so
don't worry if we're spoiling for you. We're just saving you a trip to the fucking movies because this shit is terrible, dude.
So 2 people die then, and they both die in the first 3 seconds.
Right.
One of them you actually.
And why the fuck were they even there, dude? You know, if they're the last surviving nuns at this fucking horror fucking show. Like, why stick around, dude?
Because
like,
they're trying to seal the passageway for the demon.
Fuck that,
yeah,
bro.
Right. They're like, we are the last ones. You know, they're like, we have to do this. You know,
dude. No,
it's like
hell
some
no.
like action movie shit.
And that's another thing. That guy, what's the comic relief through the fucking movie? Who, first of all, he had way too many jokes.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Way too many punchlines.
Frenchie.
Well, yeah, Frenchie. Fucking Frenchie was bringing supplies up there once a week, he said, right?
Yeah, and he just now noticed this
once
shit.
a week. And, okay.
And
so
he went into, like, the
these
freezer.
These 2 chicks are fucking eating all the supplies. And, first of all, you're going up to this rundown-ass place. You're not even sure if there's people. I guess you're sure because somebody's taking the supplies. But it's like, dude, I don't know. What the fuck?
Yeah, and none of it made sense at all. Like, literally...
It was a really cash-grabby, shitty-ass movie. Like,
tell you the ending. The ending, they
had to get Jesus blood.
Literally the blood of Christ.
Literally.
Not like wine, not something that was prayed over by a priest. It was literally the blood of Christ in a fucking Easter egg.
In a like a Christmas tree ornament.
Yeah. And somehow she gets that shit into her mouth before going underwater without the nun noticing. Without, like, none of it makes sense. In the
you
whole,
think that shit would be dried up by now? You know what I mean?
Nah, dude.
I guess it's Jesus blood. So
yeah, it's miracle blood.
It stays bloody like that blood that was on the stairs that kept dripping.
And like there
That's
was
sad. That was the best part of the whole movie.
About how the blood kept dripping.
Yeah.
And they didn't even talk about it. They were
Right.
just, she's like, huh, looks like there's more blood. And then they just keep going. And that was it. That was all they said about that. And like, just straight up, like, this girl comes there. Like, the whole movie's based around this girl, and it never explains why. Like, ever. They're just like...
Yeah, she's like, oh, there must have been some kind of mistake. I don't know anything about that. And then he's like, well, God works in mysterious ways. And then they just fucking go to fucking the Vatican or wherever the fuck they went. I don't...
They go out in the
They left the Vatican.
Nowhere.
She was at the Vatican, right? She was like studying to become a nun or some shit.
He's like... she's like, the Pope wanted me to go? She's like,
oh boy.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even really believe in anything. I'm just kind of here. But anyways, enough ranting about that. B movies. Anyways, so
that was a terrible movie.
A months-old job advertisement at Halo Infinite developer 343 Industries basically confirms something that is already very obvious. Halo Infinite will have microtransactions in some form. 343 has shared no official information about how Halo Infinite will make use of microtransactions, so it's understandable that fans are envisioning a worst-case scenario. 343 still isn't saying anything about how Halo Infinite will use microtransactions, but the studio is now again telling fans not to worry. Quote, I know there's very little real info to go on this far, but I wouldn't worry over a job description, 343 community manager Brian Jared said on Twitter. He added that the specific wording in the job title or job ad for an online experience design director is, quote, all pretty standard stuff in the gaming business. It doesn't mean it'll result in something bad.
Yeah, I don't think we have too much to worry about. I mean, I'm sure we'll get like cosmetic downloads, but I mean that's everything nowadays. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta expect it. I mean it's 2018, y'all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I feel like people have learned their lesson about bad microtransactions.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nobody's gonna try that shit again.
Battlefront was a really good example for the fucking game maker. I'm glad that the community kind of band together. I mean, I'm sad it was Battlefront because I really like the series of Battlefront. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm glad that everybody kind of like got together and was like, "Hey, y'all can't be doing this shit." You know what I mean?
Straight up, everyone was like, "Fuck y'all."
Even other like game companies were like getting in on it.
Dude, that is pretty funny.
And it's real though. It's like it's a fucking warning. You can't just be doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
and they learned.
They did.
They learned. They did.
I definitely think that EA's future games will be a lot more like conscious about that shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody still is trashing EA. Like
they were already trashing them before, anyways. Though I mean, EA basically goes out and tries shit, and then like takes the hit for the rest of the industry.
Right.
That's it.
One day it'll pay off for you, EA. Okay, so Black Ops 4. Well, let me back this up. Call of Duty World War II had like a 1-year window of exclusivity for PlayStation 4.
Oi.
So like all the DLC and shit came out a whole year later. But Black Ops 4 is going to be different. There's only going to be a 1-week window with PS4. No, so Xbox will get their shit a lot sooner. So that's cool for all the Xbox people out there.
Cool. What else you got? I'm out of news.
Let's see. I don't think. Oh, this is a good one. The PlayStation Now service has gotten a big upgrade today with the announcement that subscribers can now download games in addition to the existing streaming option. The company boasts that almost all of the PS4 games on the service can be downloaded, along with the lineup of PS2 games. This doesn't include the lineup of PS3 games. Your downloaded games will support any DLC or add-ons, and you don't need a PlayStation Plus membership to play online multiplayer for your games through PlayStation Now. You will need a PlayStation Plus subscription to transfer any cloud saves from the streaming version to the downloaded version, however. Also, your PS4 will need to check in with the internet every few days to verify your PS Now subscription. Sony has said that download option will be rolling out over the next few days, so if you don't see it yet, it will show up soon. Check the library to see what's on tap. The ability to download games puts PlayStation Now service more in line with Microsoft's Game Pass, which offers a library of Xbox One and Xbox 360 games for a monthly subscription fee. And for those who wish to stream, that option is still available, unlike on Microsoft's competing service. Game Pass still has a few advantages of its own, though. The $10 a month price is standard, not promotional, and Microsoft has committed to putting all new first-party games on at launch. The two services are competing for your dollars, so a lot will come down to which library appeals to you more. So that's cool. Really, I think the only reason I would prefer to download a game than streaming, you know what I mean, is if it's like a brand new PS4 game. Because some of the games with better graphics can get a little laggy when you're like streaming it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Lag, latency, all that bull.
So that's cool. That was like the one thing. Like, I wish that you had the option, even though it's nice to be able to like pop it on like instantly. You know what I mean? Some games like Dead Island were kind of hard to play because like the frame rate would get bad if your internet connection was bad, you know?
Hell no. We should have amazing internet all over the world. I don't understand.
Saying. It should just be in the air like fucking radio. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
why is it? Why is it not?
I don't know. I think one day it will be. One day the city will start providing it, I feel like, and it'll just be like broadcast through the town.
That would be dope as fuck. What else you got?
Let's see. Oh, another sad one. Capcom Vancouver has been shut down. The studio, which was best known for its work on the Dead Rising series and the short-lived Puzzle Fighter mobile game, has ceased operations effective today, September 18th, and its current projects have been canceled.
So that was last week.
But, still relevant. Capcom is currently reviewing the allocation of its development resources that support the production of world-class content. A Capcom spokesperson told GameSpot. To support this objective, new R&D facilities and annual hiring have been underway, and the Osaka headquarters. In consideration of this process, as a result of reviewing titles in development at Capcom Vancouver, Capcom has decided to cancel the development of projects at the studio and will concentrate on development of major titles in Japan. So that's a little sad.
Saw it coming, though.
Yeah, but, I like Dead Rising a lot. So, blows.
It's like, I mean, I don't know. That's the problem with, like, a lot of these, they used to be big, companies. Or not. It's not that Capcom's not a big company, but, like, these smaller branches of the bigger companies, they used to be more important. Like, whenever you had things like Dead Rising, coming out, and not annually, but, like, you got them more often.
Yeah, they would put them out whenever it mattered, Like Dead Rising 3, like, launched with the Xbox One,
Yeah.
And Dead Rising 1 was one of the, I don't know, I don't want to say it's, like, the first game to show off the Xbox's power, but, I mean, like, it really showed off the Xbox's power, like the Xbox 360.
Yeah, just having that many enemies on the screen at once.
It was pretty mind-blowing for the time, you know what I mean? Dead Rising 2 was good in its own right, but it didn't really have anything ground. Same with Dead Rising 4, But again, Capcom still exists, so I guess the IP is still there. It's not like there's no chance in hell that we'll ever see another Dead Rising. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't think it's gone, but I just think that like right now it's just not the time for it.
No, definitely not. Especially since Dead Rising 4 didn't do very well. Commercially, I mean, it did and probably made like a little bit of money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and there's not really a good enough way to put multiplayer into that type of game. And right now, multiplayer is all people want. It's like unless they completely changed what that game was.
Like, they have multiplayer in 2, I think, and it's kind of fun. It actually is kind of fun. But it's,
it's not what kids these days
want.
They want either like these Twitch shooters, they want super fast, first person shooters, or they want a MOBA, or they want fucking Fortnite. It's like very specific types of games.
These kids these days don't know what they want.
They don't. They don't know. They don't remember good old team deathmatch.
They haven't been showed a good game yet. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying. Like we used to have to deal with what we had. We even used our imagination in these games. Remember Blood Gulch? How many fucking times can you play on Blood Gulch? The same, 2v2 or...
we would be making shit up, dude. It'd be like kids on a playground playing cops and robbers or something, We'd chase each other around Blood Gulch and make our own rules and shit.
Double grenade explosions and or just like throw a plasma grenade on a plasma grenade and see if we can hit somebody with it and just fucking dumb.
Okay, let's see what else I got here. Fortnite's popularity is not slowing down. The game had its biggest month ever in August when 78.3 million people played the popular Battle Royale game. Epic announced that is the highest single month player figure for the game since it launched.
Nice.
I mean, I remember a point when everybody was freaking out about PUBG getting like 20 million players on Steam concurrently. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, damn.
It's insane.
ZeniMax, the parent company of video game developer and publisher Bethesda, has filed a trademark application for, quote, Redfall. The trademark application covers a number of things, including PC and video game consoles. The trademark application, which was filed on September 10th in the United States and spotted by Newsweek, does not include any further clues about what Redfall might be. Bethesda released a game called Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard back in 1998, and some people are speculating that Redfall could be the name of Elder Scrolls 6. However, Bethesda has not commented.
You would think that they would have already patented the title for Elder Scrolls 6 a long-ass fucking time ago.
You'd think, but if they did, they probably would have fucking said
People would have
it
found
whenever
out,
they
yeah.
announced it at E3, you know what I mean? Plus, I don't know, they trademarked Starfield in like 2013, and everybody knew about it for a long time, so maybe they were worried that it would leak if they trademarked it too soon. You know what I mean?
Maybe it is Redfall. Who knows? That's crazy. Or maybe it's not.
Maybe they're just trying to throw us for a loop. You know, later on in that article, it talks about how Call of Duty has like trademarked all kinds of shit that they haven't used. Like Call of Duty has trademarked space warfare and future warfare and all this like random shit that never became a Call of Duty game.
Basically, all companies do that just in case. It's like trying to save a website URL. You know,
it's smart. You know,
it really is.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, that's it. That's it.
Sweet. We're going to jump into this week's releases, which is basically where I tell you what new games are coming out in the next 7 days. We're going to start it off with FIFA 19, coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch on September 28th for $59.99. FIFA 19 delivers a Champions caliber experience on and off the pitch. Led by the prestigious UEFA Champions League, FIFA 19 offers enhanced gameplay tools that allow you to control the pitch in every moment with unrivaled ways to play. And then we got Life is Strange 2 coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on September 27th. That's like the day after tomorrow. Or well, when this comes out tomorrow. For $39.99. Two brothers, Sean and Daniel Diaz, are forced to run away from home after a tragic incident in Seattle. In fear of the police, Sean and Daniel head to Mexico while attempting to conceal a sudden and mysterious supernatural power.
So I have a theory about Life is Strange. I think, okay, so Life is Strange 1, you play Max Caulfield, and you find out you have the time control power, right? And I think that this kid is going to have some kind of, like, other psychic power, you know what I mean? Because in the trailer, you see, like, the car flip over and shit, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking we're going to get, like, 4 Life is Strange games with, like, kids with different powers, and then we're going to get, like, a 5th game where they have, like, a fucking Chronicle-style, like, clash, you know what I mean? I don't know.
It's just X-Men.
That's my theory. You know, it's going to turn into something like that. I don't know, though.
It's a good idea. I like it.
I'm excited about it, and it does kind of fill the void in my soul that TellTale is leaving. You know what I mean? To know that I've got another good episodic game coming out at some point, you know, so.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Pig Eat Ball is coming to Xbox One, PS4, PC, Mac, and Linux on September 27th. Couldn't find a price on this one. In the puzzle-ish party game Pig Eat Ball, players battle each other to be the one to help Bo win back her freedom. Your father, King Cake, decreed whomever can win his contest can marry his daughter Bo. Take back your fate by winning the contest yourself. Flit about your father's floating tennis court space station, sucking up the most balls to win. Okay. Then we got Whispering Willows coming to Switch on September 27th for $9.99. Young Elena Elkhorn embarks on a harrowing journey to find her missing father and discover the secrets of the Willows mansion. Aiding her journey is a unique amulet she received from her father, which allows her to astral project her spirit into a ghostly realm and communicate with the dead. Can you imagine if your dad just gave you some shit like that?
Now, Brent, just gives me the.
Here's this astral projecting amulet. I found it in your.
I'm gonna give you this astral projection amulet. I want you to be responsible with it.
It's just like it's something that just. I get it's fantasy, but who thinks of this shit? You know, like. Anyways, Jagged Alliance Rage is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on September 27th for $29.99. Jagged Alliance is back. The mercenary tactic game Jagged Alliance Rage offers a new take on turn-based tactics, adventure elements, and the well-known quirky mercenaries. Set 20 years after the first Jagged Alliance, this spin-off lets you experience a road trip into a jungle hell to test your mind and body to the limits.
Cool.
And then we got Towerfall Switch Edition coming to Switch on September 27th for $19.
I never would have guessed.
Enter the land of Towerfall with your friends and engage in the noble and brutal tradition of bow and arrow combat. Towerfall is an archery combat platformer for 1 to 4 players with an arcade co-op mode and hilarious intense versus matches. The core mechanics are simple and accessible, but combat is fast and fierce. The focus is on player mastery and friendly rivalry.
Hell yeah.
Then we got Armello coming to Switch on September 27th for $19.99. Armello is a natively digital multiplayer card and board game set in a fairy tale animal kingdom. With the king of Armello corrupted and insane, 4 animal clans compete in a race to claim the crown. You play as a hero from one of the 4 animal clans: rat, rabbit, bear, or wolf. Players navigate their fully animated 3D character across the board, procedurally generated from 3D hex tiles, as they quest, scheme, explore, vanquish monsters, perform the Mad King's royal edicts, and face off against other players with one ultimate end goal in mind: storming the palace and becoming king or queen of Armello. Okay, and then we got Pankapu, the Dream Keeper, coming to Switch September 27th for $11.99. On stormy nights, children are told the story of Pankapu, the Dream Keeper. This narrative, 2D action platformer, tells that tale. And then we got Zero Killed coming to PSVR and PC on September 26th. Couldn't find a price for this. In the tactical shooter Zero Killed, you take control of one of the Zeros, pros who have abandoned their past and broken all contact with their former employers. These companies hired them to illegally extract the previously unknown superconductive element petronium from the devastated territory called the Zone. Zero Killed offers a one-of-a-kind mix of tactical gameplay, engaging PvP multiplayer, and rich options in gearing up with equipment and gadgets.
Gosh, too many VR games coming out lately. I really want to get them all, but it's just like...
What are you going to do?
I feel like I need to go back and play Moss, too. You know, everybody was talking about
it. Or I thought you did play it.
No, I didn't. I played the demo, and I thought the demo was really cool, but I want to go back and play the real game. It's probably cheaper now, too. Sorry, random thought.
Random thoughts from Brent. We got Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise, coming to PS4 October 2nd for $59.99. Based within the world of the beloved Fist of the North Star manga, Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise is a high-intensity action-adventure RPG developed by Ryuga Gotoku Studio, the development team behind the acclaimed Yakuza series. Players take control of Kenshiro as they progress through an alternate universe of the original story. Explore the post-apocalyptic waste of the earth in a customizable buggy, and tear through groups of thugs using Kenshiro's signature Hokuto Shinken techniques.
I know a lot of people are excited about that game.
It sounds cool. It sounds very anime.
Fist of the North Star has a pretty big following.
Fisting the North Star.
Yeah.
Sounds
They be
great.
doing it.
They be doing 9 Monkeys of Shaolin. Xbox One, Switch, PS4, and PC, September 28th. Couldn't find a price. As a simple Chinese fisherman, Wei Chang, you have to avenge the death of your friends and family slaughtered in a pirate raid at your peaceful village in the fierce brawling game 9 Monkeys of Shaolin. Get your trusty battle staff ready for a challenging adventure in medieval China and for merciless fights with hordes of various enemies. Let It Die, September 26th. It's free.
This is already out on PS4. It must be coming to Switch?
To PC.
PC.
Yeah.
I know it's coming to Switch eventually.
I don't even know what it is, but it's free to play. And it says it's a brutally violent free-to-play game.
It's kind of a hard game. You, build up your stuff, right? And you play, and then if you die, you have to start over again from the beginning.
It's a roguelike.
It is a roguelike, but where you died, all your stuff drops, or like freaking a ghost of you drops. So as other people progress forward, they end up having to fight ghosts of you, the former people. Yeah,
that's
at least
cool.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That gives that roguelike a whole new mechanic.
Yeah, I haven't actually played it, but I've heard good things about it.
And we got Forza Horizon 4 coming to Xbox One and PC on October 2nd for $59.99. Forza Horizon 4 is the 4th entry in the road racing variant of the venerable driving series.
Oh, shit.
I could not guess. Now, that GameSpot gave it a 9 already.
Really?
They said it's amazing.
Yeah, the Forza Horizon games are typically pretty good.
They've done it 4 times
Got
now.
that open world thing going on.
Then we got,
and they're always really pretty, too. But
Yeah.
that's like every Forza game, I guess.
True. They're like super nice. That's what it is. They took over Project Gotham.
Yeah, totally.
Sad. Mega Man 11 coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on October 2nd for $29.99. The Blue Bomber returns in Mega Man 11, a 2.5D entry in the mainline Mega Man action franchise. I've got to find a good accent for this one. A freshly redesigned Mega Man takes on Dr. Wily's berserk machines, defeating robot master bosses and taking their weapons, and in ever-evolving fight for justice with new and unique enemy designs. The classic series takes a leap forward in visual presentation in Mega Man 11 with 2.5D design direction, introducing beautiful, completely hand-drawn characters and environments. And then we got Brave Dungeon plus Dark Witch's Story Combat coming to Switch on September 28th for $8.99.
That's such a long time.
I know, it's just anime. Brave Dungeon is a dungeon crawling RPG adventure by Inside System, creators of the Legend of Dark Witch series. And then we got X-Order coming to Switch on September 27th for $12.99. X-Order is a tactical turn-based game featuring colorful visuals and colorful characters. Experience the story of X-Order through a roster of quirky characters involved in a conflict between 3 neighboring countries. Discover the meaning behind the 3 moons, an event that happens only once in 50 years, which is the driving force of our story. Then we got the Valtherian Arc Hero School Story coming to Switch, PS4, and PC on October 2nd for $14.99. Have you ever wondered where all the powerful knights and wizards come from? No one is born a hero. It is your job as a principal of Valtheria Academy to train the most promising students to become heroes of legend, oversee the development of your hero school, build structures, upgrade facilities, and manage the day-to-day activities of your students. Then we got Astro Bot Rescue Mission, PSVR, October 2nd for $39.99.
Oh, dope.
This game kind of looks like the character, the bot, looks like Beep from...
from Chris's channel.
I was like, what?
You know, the Astrobot Rescue Mission was originally, there's this game called Playroom VR that's just free on the PlayStation Store, and you can it's like 5 mini games basically for you to play in VR. Most of them require you to play with somebody playing with an actual controller on like the normal screen. You know what I mean? So they're like multiplayer. You can interact with your friends and stuff. It's kind of cool. But there's one game on there that is like a single player game, and it's the Astrobot Rescue Mission. And it was such a big deal. Everybody loved it so much that like they wrote to Sony and like they're making it into a full game. And
That's crazy.
This is the full game. Yeah, it's like a third-person platformer in VR. It's really, really cool how they did the demo or the original one. So I'm sure that the actual game will be even better.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's like the only PSVR game I've ever found a price for. But $39.99. An Astrobot Rescue Mission, a platforming adventure developed exclusively for use with PSVR. Take control of Astro, the captain bot and go on an epic VR rescue mission to save your fellow crew who are dispersed all over space.
Awesome.
And then we got Jake Hunter Detective Story, Ghost of the Dusk, coming to 3DS on September 28th for $39.99. A homeless man's accidental death draws hard-nosed detective Jake Hunter into the shadow of a mysterious mansion. But all is not as it appears at the seemingly innocuous crime scene, and Jake can't shake the hunch that something is amiss. With the help of an old friend, Jake works to get to the bottom of the crime and uncover the true culprit's identity. But when the mansion's owner comes to Jake with a new proposal, things take a turn for the bizarre as dark secrets are forced from the shadows. Now it's up to Jake to track down the source of the madness. And then we got Arena of Valor coming to Switch on September 25th for free. Experience epic 5v5 multiplayer online battle arena MOBA. Play an Arena of Valor. Master unique and powerful heroes while teaming up with friends. Call on your teammates to join you in the jungle. Fight your way out in classic 5v5 combat in real time. Draw first blood, carry your team, and become legendary in the arena. Cool. That's it. That's it for this week. This week's releases.
Wow, a lot of stuff going on this week, you know?
Yeah, just too much, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the gaming industry just needs to take a break.
For real.
We're about to have
I guess
Red
then we'd
Dead.
be out of business, you know? Like,
Yeah.
what would we do if the gaming industry took a break?
We'd make some news. We'd go and, like...
Go punch somebody in the Rockstar lobby and... Man was assaulted in Rockstar headquarters. Like,
and blame it on the, like, the CEO or something. That's But, yeah, yeah, we got a lot of games coming out. We got Red Dead, we got Black Ops, we got not Call of Duty, Battlefield. I want to say front, a bunch of shit.
Exciting time for VR games too. That Astrobot game's coming out. Creed: Rise to Glory just came out, and apparently it's really good. So.
Did you say Creed?
Yeah,
like the band Rise to Glory,
like Apollo Creed, like the boxer.
Oh, I thought you were like the Creed's just starting out, like you like Rise to Glory, like the 90s.
It's like a rock band game. That might actually be kind of tight, dude. You gotta pick which member of the band to play as.
But you like start. I feel like with like Scott, like the lead singer or whatever, you gotta like start out with a tiny voice, and like as it like gets further and further in the game, your voice gets more deep and just like
you just put like a voice modifier in the game. So you just have a little kid voice.
I would play that game just to hear the voice modifier. That would be perfect.
And you're just like not even singing.
Oh. Oh wait, no, what you got? I know.
I was about to say, what do you got?
Yeah, we're gonna go into currently playing. Sorry, we got a lot of banter on this episode. So the what we're currently playing right now, I've actually my sister's boyfriend and I were chilling and playing some co-op through Halo Master Chief Collection because I told you I've been playing that. It's kind of getting sad playing by myself. So
yeah, totally.
He came over.
Sad.
We played for a little while. We played campaign for like an hour or so. But
which Halo?
Combat Evolved.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, but we had to like restart.
What level?
We had from the beginning, like, and we tried to get through to the end of the game while they were like, you know, while my sister and my girlfriend were like off shopping and shit. We put on heroic and tried to go pretty far.
Hell yeah!
But the problem is like I was already like I forget where I was at in the single player campaign, but we had to restart because if you add a second player, it won't let you go back to your.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But anyways, then we played online, and dude, I miss playing Halo online. It was actually really fun. It was still really good. Surprisingly.
Oh yeah, man. That's one of those onlines that like just probably won't ever get bad. You know what I mean? Like
definitely,
they did a great job with it.
It's super timeless. We played Capture the Flag, some team deathmatch.
I love that.
What was it? 2v2.
I just missed the announcer guy. Kill-tastic.
Killjoy.
Killing
beep,
spree.
Beep. Beep.
Yes, dude. That was the best.
Anyways, yeah, so that's what I was playing. Watch Maniac, things like that, you know.
Heck yeah. For my end of the world, I went on the Xbox Game Pass and I kind of cycled through it and saw that there are a few new things. I got Doom. I played a little bit of Doom.
I already beat Doom. That's why I'm upset. Like the Game's Pass right now, I keep going on there. I'm like, oh, there needs to be something to download, but I just keep playing
cool
Halo
stuff that I've already played. Like KOTOR, I've played that like a million times. I would be so stoked about that if I hadn't played it. I wish they'd add KOTOR too. Mass Effect, played that a million times. You know, I mean, like I'm glad they're adding all that, but it's like, come on, add something I haven't played already. But so I played a little bit of Doom, and I was like, okay, I'm tired of Doom, so I downloaded Hitman, and because I had the first like 4 levels of Hitman, and then I stopped buying them. You know what I mean? Not because I didn't like the game or anything. I just I kind of just forgot about it. I think Fallout 4 came out or some shit, and I got excited about that. I don't really remember what happened, but. So I went back and it's on Game Pass, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just pick up where I left off. And I've been playing that, and I gotta say, I'm a fucking badass assassin, dude. Like, I mean, I kill way too many people. Like, at the end of the mission, I lose like 50,000 points because I kill like 20 people in the process of killing like the 2 people that I'm supposed to kill.
I don't know if that makes you a badass assassin or just a bad assassin. Like,
no, I'm a great assassin.
If you're killing all these extra people,
hey man, they are in the way.
One of these happened to be the guy that I need to kill. Someone's bound to be him.
My thing is, my motto as an assassin in that game, I get in this mind frame like, it's like as long as I accomplish the mission, it doesn't matter how dirty I get my hands on the way. You know what I mean?
As fucked up as it sounds, I want to see you as a real life assassin. I want to see how you would handle that situation.
I mean, I'd probably be a lot less effective in real life just because I'm like kind of out of shape. You know what I mean?
No, but I imagine you got in shape for the assassination.
Like, let's just assume that I'm doing it Hitman style. Like, a lot of the Hitman game is like switching in and out of different disguises. And I feel like I would be really ineffective at quickly changing clothes in a pinch. Like say I knock somebody out, right? And that's assuming I can even knock somebody out. You know what I mean? Like, just with a blow to the back. I'd probably hit somebody in the back of the head, and they just turn around and be like, what the fuck, bro?
You just start wailing on you. Just get your ass beat.
Let's just say I had that ability. I was good like that, like the Hitman guy, and I did knock the guy out. You know what I mean? Then I'd have to like quickly change into his drag. First of all, in Hitman, you can't let him see the body. So like as soon as you knock somebody out, you want to drag them to like a dark corner somewhere so you can do what you want. You know what I mean? And like then you generally want to get their clothes. You know what I mean? Because they usually have like some kind of disguise you need. You know what I mean? And this is where I end up killing everybody. Because then you have the option to like leave their unconscious body in like a dresser or like leave their dead body in a dresser, And I'm always afraid like if I leave them unconscious, they're gonna wake up later and be like, "Hey man, fucking, I'm naked. Some guy knocked me out," So I just kill them,
Yeah,
it's just easier that way, It's like I have less of a risk in the long run.
More guilt, less risk.
And I've noticed another thing in like the later missions on Hitman, like sometimes you'll just be walking and it'll be like a security camera saw you. It'll like a message will pop up, and it's like, okay, do I fucking care? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't affect the mission at all. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Maybe it means it. No, I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Maybe if like you get caught.
I think maybe there's I know that there's like challenges you can do that involve it, like if you get seen by the camera, you have to go up to the camera room and like delete the footage and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
There's a lot of like really cool stuff like that, but I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with it. You know what I mean? And Hitman's one of those games, like especially the most modern Hitman, where like I really like some of the levels, and some of the levels I'm like, oh, that was all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have the game.
It's all about the environment I'm in that game. You know what I mean?
It really is. It's super pretty.
That's I really like the Paris level, the very beginning, like the very first level you go on. That's not like the training mission. You know
the training mission sucks.
Yeah, the training mission kind of sucks. But after that, they're all good in their own right. I don't know. The one I'm on right now has you trying to kill 4 different people, and it's like, oh, that's like I was having a hard time killing 2 people.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
No, it's a pretty cool game.
And also I went to GameSpot or GameStop. Excuse me, not GameSpot.
I went to GameSpot.
No, I went to GameStop and I was just playing around because I was waiting for Panda Express to open because I was hungry. And
it's a good reason.
I started playing with the Switch, and they had a demo for the new Mario Party game on there.
How was it, dude?
It was pretty good. I got to play like a bunch of the mini games. It doesn't actually have like a full game you can play, but it'll let you try the mini games. And I played like a few of them. One of them was like you hold the Wiimote, right, and it makes you play with the little one. You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool because everybody can have a controller.
The Joy-Con?
Yeah, the Joy-Con.
Okay.
But so like you have your Joy-Con, and like the mini games are all focused on like things that have to do with the Joy-Con. So you have this whole like different style of mini games. You know?
I love that.
Like one of them had you like tilt the Joy-Con, and your character would like run on a barrel, and you like had to avoid obstacles by like making the And then one you had like you held the Joy-Con in your hand like it was a frying pan, and you like flipped this piece of meat,
my gosh,
and you had to like cook it on each side. It was really cool.
Dude, we're having a Mario Party as
Dude,
soon as that game drops.
I'm so down. And it's beautiful looking.
I
And there's
know.
so many characters, dude. There was at least like 10 characters with like 4 locked characters.
Was Dry Bones there?
Dry Bones was
Oh,
there.
dude, I'm Dry Bones.
Freaking Boo was there. Like, it was tight. Donkey Kong is one of the locked characters, though, which pisses me off.
They knew.
And I know it's one of the locked characters because there's like a silhouette, but it's obviously Donkey Kong. You know what I mean?
Or Jimmy
like,
Neutron. It could be one or two.
I would be so salty if it was Jimmy Neutron, dude.
Okay. Dude, yeah, but I can't wait to get that. I'm so stoked.
Same here.
Especially for online play.
Same here. It's going to be great.
So that's what we've been currently playing. We're going to jump into the topic of the show, guys. This one I'm going to have to explain to you.
Yeah.
So basically,
we didn't even really know how to word it in the description of the show, you know what I mean? We're just kind of like
wanging it. So it's like celebrities we would pick to put in a Def Jam style video game. They don't have to be rappers or musicians. We're like, okay, what celebrities will we put in a basically a fighting game?
Yeah, and when we say Def Jam, I mean really just the aspect of Def Jam that it's a bunch of real people put into a game, like
wrestling,
based on fighting,
almost.
You know what I mean? Like it could be any kind of fighting. Like we're thinking like Tekken, Dead or Alive style. You know, fighting games kind of, but like what real people would we put in, and celebrities, you know.
Okay. Let's start this off. I want to start this off with the first thing that popped into my head whenever we came up with this idea.
Yeah.
Tom DeLonge.
Tom DeLonge.
I want Tom DeLonge, but I want him in 2 different forms. You know, I want him in early Blink form, but then I also want him to evolve into Angels and Airwaves form, where he's obsessed with aliens.
Yeah.
And like he suddenly has like a grand understanding of the universe. Like,
you know, a lot of mine were like I was trying to think of like a person, and I'd think of a person, and then I would immediately think of like a person that I would want that person to fight.
Yes, me too. I was doing the same thing.
So what I did, I ended up doing was like, and when I put down Tom DeLonge, I immediately had to put down the rest of Blink-182, because I feel like a lot of like, okay, let's say our game has like a story mode, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there ends up being some kind of like grudge match where like Travis Barker and Mark Hoppus like fight Tom DeLonge, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like a fucking tag team type thing, you know what I mean? Like he's getting beat up, so he like calls down the aliens or some shit.
Yeah, he's like a god at this point. Like this is like Mark is just like, yo man, you left the band, we were supposed to be Blink forever. And he's like, nah man, I just really want to, you know, like just check out what the world has to offer. You know, I was on Joe Rogan and things are different now. Like,
then Green Day comes out of nowhere and they all have to like band together again to fight Green Day.
Literally. Dude, yes, that would be amazing.
That would be
they
great.
Do he's like, one last punk rock show.
Hey, that would be an epic game. Well, I mean, like if you did that, you could do like a whole like game about like rockers fighting each other. You know what I mean?
Like make it Def
like
Jam,
Def
but
Jam,
just rock.
but like the rock version. What if it was like Victory Jam? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
and it's all the bands from like the Victory Records label. You know what I mean?
That would be awesome. That would be super dope.
Let's see. Shoot. Okay, I was thinking like, what if you got like Elon Musk? You know what I mean?
He would have,
or Neil deGrasse Tyson, or both of them to fight each other.
I thought that too, but I was thinking, okay, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Oh,
Bill
this
Gates
would be a whole
and Elon Musk.
A whole game right there.
Yeah, so Bill Gates and Elon Musk are on one side, and then you got Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill
Nye.
Yeah.
Totally.
Then they all have to team up at the end and fight global warming.
Oh, that's the final boss.
The global energy crisis. No, but so like you know, like what's his name? Bill Gates and Elon Musk can like they have like AI like robots that fucking fight the shit out of everyone. I like it.
Fuck yeah. Elon Musk's fatality, he just puts you in a rocket and like launches you into space.
So I was thinking of like, you know how in Super Smash Bros. They have like the training like section of the game where like you can like punch the punching bag.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking like there should be specific characters that, you know, that are in this game because it would just be great to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Justin Bieber. No offense to JB, he's an amazing singer, but I just, he's just so. He's one of those people that you just want to punch in the face.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people feel that way. It's not just me.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Women and men alike, And so I think like just to have that opportunity to put Justin Bieber in a fighting game and like give him all of his different outfits from all of his different eras, like right now he's into like the weird like trucker like like Joe Dirt look. But, like, you take him back to where he's, like, all flannel and, kind of hipster. And then, you just go to your least favorite Bieber era and then just punch the shit out of him.
Yeah, totally.
And, like, it's super, like, realistic and bloody. And, like, he screams and, like,
that'd be great.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I love Justin Bieber. All right.
I think with all the beef going on, you definitely got to have MGK and Eminem.
Oh my gosh, yes, definitely.
Let them duke it out in the virtual world. You know what I mean?
But I feel like you could throw some Easter egg in there where like Eminem comes out, or no, where MGK comes out, and like he goes like Super Saiyan, and it turns him into Eminem.
Yes, dude. Or
because fuck MGK.
You know how like, you were saying earlier, you need two versions of Tom DeLonge. You need like the real Slim Shady version of Eminem, and then
Marshall
you need
Mathers.
you need like the modern weird beard Eminem. You know what I mean?
Weird beard Marshall Mathers. No, like, I feel like,
and of course you got to throw 50 Cent in there somewhere, just because he looks like a fighting game character.
I feel like 50 Cent shouldn't get the opportunity to fight in the game. I feel like he should be one of those characters that, like, in the first game, he's there, but everyone's like, why the fuck can't we play as him?
Yeah, he's not a play. He's like Goro in Mortal Kombat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You can't play as him till the sequel.
Or you got to use some insane cheat code to play as him. Like, he's not, like, immediately playable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, another one that I wanted was Obama. I think Obama would be great. Like, and he's just like this, like monk almost. Like he's like got this this peaceful way to him, but he's also a fighter.
Yeah. He'd be like the drunken master, but not drunk. You know what I mean? Just the old peaceful one that like knows the ways.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Trump would be like Bass from fucking Dead or Alive.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean?
Yes. Or like, oh my god, he's got like shitty shades on and
dude. He's got like a wife beater and like a fucking like denim jacket. Like
he's like the in shape out of shape guy. I like that one.
Okay, what if you had a fighting game where all of the previous actors who played Spider-Man fight each other?
See, somebody said, did we talk about this before on here?
Like a fight to death between all the Spider-Man?
No, I think we said something. That would be awesome, though. That would be fucking crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Three-way throwdown between Raimi
dude.
Spider-Man, fucking Homecoming Spider-Man.
Homecoming Spider-Man would be like Toon Link, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
I think that would be really cool. And maybe like they all have to team up and fight different villains from each Spider universe.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Into the Spider-Verse.
What if you had all the different actors who played James Bond? And it was like its own game.
Ooh.
Bond v. Bond.
And they all just like have different like fighting techniques.
Yeah, dude, because they all kind of do. Like, like Daniel Craig seems like more of like a fast, like, and then like you got the old like judo chopping, Sean Connery's and like.
They all put them up, but like I feel like but you could like have a secret character, Mike Myers, from.
Austin Powers. That'd be fucking great.
That would be pretty legit. I have Mr. Rogers.
Oh, dude, yeah, Mr. Rogers would be great.
He like
hello neighbor. Just beats the shit out of you.
Like that myth about him, like how he's like got like tattoo sleeves underneath his sweaters. That's why he always wears sweaters. Like like whenever he walks out, he like rips his sleeves off and he's like completely tatted up. Like that whole thing about him being like a sniper. Like, do you remember all this shit? Like where people were like, "Oh yeah."
I know he was in the army.
Yeah, but he wasn't a sniper or
No,
some
I don't
shit.
think he was a sniper.
But like every myth,
he was like decorated though. He was like,
I
he was
don't know.
in combat and shit. I think.
All I know is that every myth that was ever said, every legend about Mr. Rogers, like, should be put as like it was fact.
I think they're making a Mr. Rogers movie pretty soon.
What?
Yeah, like an autobiography of his life, kind of.
I could see that. I know Jim Carrey's in some TV show that's like based on those kind of.
Right.
Like, it's called Kidding.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it for sure.
Looks insane.
You gotta have Jason Statham in any kind of action-related thing.
Dude, there's a couple of people from that, like Arnold Schwarzenegger as Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s. You know, like.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
We got to come right back to this, but just while we were talking about the Mr. Rogers thing, we need Steve from Blue's Clues to fight Mr. Rogers, bro.
No. He needs to come back and fight Joe. He needs to come back
fuck!
and reclaim his place.
Fuck, dude. That would be tight. It's like a Blue's Clues fighting game. It just starts out like a normal episode of Blue's Clues.
It's just like bust the fuck in it.
It's a clue. And he's like, what is it? And he's like, it's brass knuckles, bitch. And he like picks it up and just pops him.
It's a letter from our friend. Yo, motherfucking Joe, I'm coming back.
Salt and Pepper are like, stop, you guys, please. Our children are right there.
He's like crying.
It's all like in the animated world. Like every like different level is just like a different animated world. And there's like stage breaks. Like you can like throw them through like the painting. And they like skidoo into a new part of the level.
He like grabs his head and like starts slamming it into the TV screen. Like the screen cracks.
He's got like, there's like a cis, like the mail box will like fly in the room and just start like slamming on his head, like singing about it. Like,
here's the mail it never.
Are there more?
Like all that shit.
Is there multiple Steves and Joes? Like I thought there was another one after Joe too.
No, it was like Steve, Joe, and then I think the show canceled, and now they're coming back with a new Blue's Clues after all these years.
Is it going to be is it going to be Steve or Joe or
no? It's going to be somebody completely new. I forgot who they
Neil
said
deGrasse Tyson.
Dude, yes. I would watch it.
Dude, I would too.
I feel like
I feel like that would be great.
Yeah.
He's got such a calming voice, you know?
And it's it's like so like he just knows. You know, it's like
I would totally trust about all the clues from Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know what I mean?
I feel like if I ever saw Neil deGrasse Tyson get like worried, I would never feel safe again. Like I don't understand. As long as he's fine, the world's fine. Yeah. You know, the universe is okay.
Definitely.
But anyways.
But yeah, back to Stallone, Schwarzenegger,
that would be
Jason Statham.
Perfect.
That would be great.
Just like all the Expendables, basically.
Oh,
throw them into
yeah.
one.
Like an Expendables. That would be tight. An Expendables fighting game.
Yeah, dude.
With all the fucking Expendables.
But
that by itself would be sweet.
Jackie Chan's got to be there.
Oh yeah, is
and
Jackie
Chris
Chan
Tucker.
not an expendable? Because if not, he should be.
He's not an expendable, as far as I know.
They are fucking up, dude.
Or maybe he was.
He's the most expendable of all the Expendables.
I don't know if that's the word you.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
But like, he's definitely Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willie, dude. He would be perfect for that shit, dude. You could even have like special people in the game, like The Rock, dude. The Rock would be perfect for the fucking Expendables game.
I feel like we've had The Rock in a video game. Yeah, that would be cool. I'm trying to think of somebody that like I want Tom Jane. You know, he would.
Oh,
be
fuck yeah,
perfect.
Tom Jane would be great. Tom Jane, Michael Clark Duncan, bro.
Man, maybe we could put like all of the weak, like like Michael Cera, McLovin type characters in the
I was
game.
gonna say you need. Well, no, they need to be in like a game with all the strong people because like there's always that one character like Elliot from Dead or Alive that's like looks weak, you know what I mean, but is actually pretty good,
really
strong.
What
I mean? Once you like figure out how to use them, you know what I mean.
Definitely.
Same with you need like Ariana Grande, you know what I mean?
Or just randomly to fight Bieber.
Yeah,
that's all.
Oh shit! You need like one really weird character like Marilyn Manson. that like is like in full makeup. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, we need a 90s rock game.
You need like a really small character like Vern Troyer. Like,
Billy Corgan.
Yeah,
Like,
Danny DeVito.
Oh my gosh. The guy who played who's the little guy who's in Game of Thrones?
Oh, Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, dude.
Bro, yeah, that would be great. Oh, fucking Wee Man.
Oh my gosh.
What if you just had like a midget fighting? That would be really
would sell
fucked
well
up.
in places like Texas.
You think?
Where we have like midget wrestling at our bars, like annually. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, jeez.
but yeah.
Let's see. Who else? Oh, when we were talking about Obama and Trump, you got to throw Putin in there too. I think that would be a cool.
Yeah, I feel like
he would fit in.
And like Kim Jong-un.
Oh fuck yeah. Samuel L. Jackson would go good in the Expendables one too.
Oh yeah, he'd be good for anything.
Yeah, you could really throw Sam Jack in any of them. Fucking what about all the Joker actors?
Ooh,
they have to like
that would
fight
be
it
cool.
out, like
with the new Joaquin Phoenix one.
Fuck yeah, and Jack Nicholson, fucking all them dudes.
Except for
Heath
Jared
Ledger.
Leto, we'll just leave Jared Leto.
No, he's there. He's just really bad in the game.
Just really annoying.
Nobody ever picks him. You know what I mean?
and
there's like that one guy who's like mains him for no reason, even though he's like terrible.
And I feel like we just we got to bring Mark Hamill in since he does the voice of the animated series.
Definitely.
He's just him.
Just by with the voice.
Yeah.
You know that dude from Game of Thrones, the Mountain? What's his real name? Something. God, it starts with an H. Hopfer.
It's like Holt or something.
Holtfer. Yeah, I don't know. It's ridiculous. But the Mountain. We need the Mountain in the game.
He's like the world's strongest
counteract
man.
The really small dudes in that one.
That would not be fair. He would literally crush them into pieces.
No, because the little guy would just like crawl up his leg and choke him out, you know?
What is it? Mini-me? Like, oh, man. Yeah.
You need Norman Reedus just because he's in everything nowadays.
Yeah, I guess Norman Reedus could make it.
Okay, here's one. What if you had young Paul McCartney and old Paul McCartney and they like duked it out?
Or just like the entire Beatles, like all killing each other. Like, I feel like...
What if like that's the whole plot of the game? Is like you start out as old Paul McCartney and you go back in time, right? And you like meet up with and like your in game. The objective is to like stop John Lennon from getting assassinated, right? So you like go back in time and you start talking to old Paul or like young Paul McCartney, and he like doesn't he's not cool with it for some reason. And you guys that's like your first fight in the game. You like fight yourself at a young age, you know? Yeah,
and that's how the Paul is dead theory gets started.
Oh shit! You could tie that all back in.
Yeah, like,
that could be like a crazy ass game, dude.
Yeah, by the end of the game, because like at the end of the game, he's like standing there. And he's like, I don't feel like I used to feel. It's like I'm not sure if I'm even me. And then it like starts playing like one of their songs, and then it like slowly like goes back in time, and it starts out and he's like young, and they're starting up the band, everything's going good, and like halfway through the whole like conspiracy theory happens, and then like
dude, I can feel that.
Feel it, dude.
I feel it. What if you had Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles?
Oh my god, that's fucked up.
The screen is just blank and you just hear fighting game noises.
Just like, but like, oh my gosh.
I think I won.
They never did Biggie and Tupac in the Def Jam
Oh
games.
shit, dude.
That's like
I didn't even think about that. That would be perfect.
Yeah, like that. Why did that not happen? Well, I guess like because
they just need a game.
Super insensitive. But...
Yeah, it would be a little, but not now. It's been long enough.
Yeah, it's been long enough.
What you need a game called Beef, where it's like Biggie and Tupac and like Drake and Meek Mill and MGK and Eminem and then like every rapper that's had beef ever, and then you can like mix them all up, and like
Yeah.
Nas and Jay-Z and shit. You
It's
know
like
what I
a
mean?
tie-in game with our new podcast, 100% beef. No,
Oh
I'm just
yeah, forgot about our new podcast.
No, but no, like I like that idea. I like how you can mix up the beefs or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, and like maybe the game would start its own beefs. You know what I mean? Like remix.
It's kind of like starting like a wrestling like story arc or something.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Yeah, you get to create your own.
That would be tight. And like you get cornered after a show or something, and like I don't know.
You have the option to just be like, "Nah, I'm good," or you can be like, "Yo, fuck you,
yeah,
bro."
dude, that'd be tight. And it could like you could have some kind of gunplay element to it too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Have it be like half fighting game, half shooting game, half like TellTale style story game.
Oh my gosh, they should do
That end up like that one game, A Way Out. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, there's Lonely Island, and then what's the one with what's that dude's name? He had a TV show. It's like what does he say? Oh my god, why can't I remember? It's like the three locos or something like that.
Oh, Andy Milonakis?
Andy Milonakis, like versus Lonely Island.
Oh, that would be great, dude. Yes.
We gotta get these rivalries.
Versus Weird Al.
Oh my. He's the god.
Oh, dude. Okay, what
Key
if you
and
had
Peele.
a game where every famous person named Jennifer was in it? Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Love Hewitt. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Every Jennifer ever.
It'd be the ultimate like vixen like battle.
If only there was some dudes named Jennifer, you could really make this fucking.
But do you go as far as putting like the name of like the character that the actress is playing? You know, you could do like Jennifer's Body.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. That would open up so many. That would be like extra characters, like unlockable characters. Jennifer from Jennifer's Body.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
you could do this. And then we have like a early 2000s emo battle, and just like have like
Fallout Boy,
Panic
Pete
at the Disco, like
Patrick Stump,
Pete Wentz is just a vampire,
Haley Williams from Paramore,
freaking
Travis McCoy.
Oh my god!
You could have an entire Fueled by Ramen fighting game.
You really could. You could. That would actually be the one like label that you could probably do that with.
Yeah,
with enough
Panic at the Disco. Fucking
recognizable people.
The Academy there's a lot of fucking bands you could do that with.
Like the shitty Cobra Starship.
Oh yeah.
Just like
and there at a point in time, that game I think would have taken off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. What else you got?
What about like Uma Thurman? Or Kimbo Slice?
Yeah,
kind of totally different people, but I think they
Uma Thurman and Kimbo. R.I.P. Kimbo. But like,
Kimbo.
I think that would be pretty cool to have like Kimbo Slice, or like even YouTubers like maybe like PewDiePie versus like Markiplier or whatever.
Yeah, one YouTuber did a fucking boxing match pretty recently.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the annoying Logan Paul.
Yeah, that annoying guy.
Yeah, they made so much fucking money off of that. Like,
that's so stupid.
I forget who it was. It might have been Dana White, or no, somebody was like talking shit. It could have been Joe Rogan.
It was probably Dana White. Dana White's always talking some shit
about the UFC,
about any kind of fighting promotion that has nothing to do with him. Like...
No. This was opposite. Somebody was saying like the UFC needs to hire these guys because they were like they made millions off of with like nobody else but themselves.
But the problem is like the UFC does that sometimes. They hire people that like can't really fight that good because they're famous. Like, okay, look at like Kimbo Slice, R.I.P. Kimbo.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, he was saying for their marketing. He was saying not for them to be the fighters. He was saying
for
like,
their marketing.
Yeah, he was like these guys outdid all of UFC in one day, like on like the grand scale of like it was two random YouTubers that not random. Logan Paul is like one of the biggest in the world, but like
KSI is like a professional boxer, isn't he?
No,
like
okay, he was like learning how to fight as well.
Oh,
They
okay.
both are YouTubers that were like, we're gonna, and they documented their whole learning how to fight, and they made it into videos and super high quality, and then they had
So what do you mean by they outdid the whole UFC in one day?
They were saying basically
that doesn't sound very true.
Because they did pay-per-view for YouTube.
Right.
Which was ridiculous. Nobody's ever been hey, we're doing pay-per-view on YouTube, and so I'm going to see how much they made off of it. But apparently it was something insane.
I find it hard to believe that they even outsold a fight night event on UFC, not even a main event. You know what I mean? That just doesn't seem.
They generated $11 million just from the pay-per-view stuff.
Yeah, that's nothing, man. I feel like.
Well, to think that you're coming from
that's not
two
nothing.
random
Don't
kids.
Get me wrong. They made a lot of money off of that for themselves, but you can't say because
and they had 20,000 people show up to the match.
Damn, where did they hold it at?
I don't know. It says I'm trying to look right now. This is where it shows Manchester Arena. They sold out Manchester Arena. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, let me look up how much a UFC fight usually makes. Because I know that Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight made a fuckload of money, way more than that.
Yeah, of course, but that was that. That was their biggest thing. Is them bringing out their big guns. The fact that these two YouTubers could come out to Manchester Arena and get 22,000 people in the seats, and then have over 770 something I think it was 770,000 paid to watch the live stream on YouTube.
I mean, that's pretty impressive for who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this was only their first fight. They're doing another one.
They're doing another one?
Yeah, because that
shit was staged, though, dude.
It was, and that's my whole point, is that they know what they're doing. They had this whole thing, the week before when they did, they were, practicing at their gym. KSI showed up and was talking shit, and apparently Jake Paul slapped him before the fight, and it was all over Twitter. Everyone was like, "Did you hear?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is so fake. This is insane."
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think that that's all a bunch of fucking publicity bullshit. They know what they're doing. They probably don't even dislike each other, really.
They don't.
You know what I mean?
They don't dislike each other. That's the point, though. That's what I'm saying, is that these guys know how to market. That's what they do. That's their whole lives.
So I can't find out how much the actual UFC pulls in.
Just put UFC fight revenue.
Well, it pulls up a bunch of how much each fighter makes. A fighter can make up to $3 million per fight. You know what I mean? But that's just their
prize money.
Yeah, that's not including their cut from the pay-per-view and their fucking
that's not from,
and that's only top tier fighters though. The bottom of the list is going to make way less money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're just starting out in the UFC, you're only going to make $10,000 a fight, which is still pretty substantial. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I just find it crazy that it shows the power of social media and
totally.
YouTube.
Well, and it also shows the power of cutting out the middleman. They made so much off of that fight because they're not having to pay off fucking promoters and give their cut to the actual organization. They just set that shit up themselves.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So they got to take home all the fucking money. You know what I mean?
And imagine all the merch money they made, all of the money off of the ads that they put out that eventually sent people to their website to figure out more.
They got a lot of
stuff.
publicity off of that shit. You're right about that, because
But,
I don't know, but at the same time, it also kind of respawned fucking Logan Paul's dead career. You know what I mean? Because nobody gave a shit about Logan Paul. Everybody just wanted to see him get his ass beat. You know what I mean?
But I think that's the problem: is bad publicity is better than no publicity.
Exactly.
I think he was purposely creating this anti
Well, look at the whole MGK beef. That's a prime example of bad publicity being better than no publicity, because everybody is listening to fucking MGK now. You know what I mean?
I think the whole beef was staged. I honestly do. I think at some point,
I don't think it was staged. I think MGK just saw an opportunity and was like, "Oh shit, I can get a lot of fucking clicks right now if I
Yeah,
You
but
know?
with how many people he called out on that track, I feel like he called them was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be mentioning you on this track," and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." They, like, we'll just talk shit on social
Doubt
media.
it. I think he wanted somebody to fucking respond, and that's why he called out everybody. You know what I mean? I think he wanted to
Maybe.
start a diss because he knew that if he had a battle with somebody, he would become more relevant. Just like the Drake and Meek Mill thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I totally looked up that thing that we were talking about, and no, literally the track that MGK came back on was produced by the same dude who produced the Ringer.
Yeah. I listened to fucking The Breakfast Club the other day, and they were talking to MGK about that.
Yeah, it's like that's why I think it's kind of staged. I think it was like, all right, I'm gonna call you out, and this is gonna get more people for you, and I'm kind of feeling a little bit irrelevant myself right now. Could you throw, just give me something to feed off of? We'll make it last a couple weeks. We'll get some money out of this. People will have their eyes back on us. It sucks to think that way, but the older I get, the less I believe this shit. I just can't believe that this 45-year-old man is truly battling with this 20-something-year-old guy. I just don't believe it. Maybe whenever I was in high school, I'd be like, oh shit. This is real, dude.
I mean, I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
of course.
But I don't think that it's staged. I just think they both realize that this is a good opportunity to make money and publicize their name. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
they're both just playing off of it. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
True.
If Eminem came out with a song tomorrow, then there's a line in it. It's like, "Fuck Jamal, he's the worst in the world." You know what I mean? Everybody, first of all, would start looking up who you were and trying to figure out who you were. You know what I mean?
GameSpeak would skyrocket.
Dude, we should try to get Eminem to diss GameSpeak.
It's the
bro.
worst podcaster
We should just
I've
start
ever
talking
heard.
mad shit about Eminem all day, every day, and plastering it all over everything until he just until he disses us.
But just kidding, we love you, Eminem. But really, you suck. But anyways, that's it for the topic of the show this week, guys. You should post in the Facebook group or on YouTube in the comments what celebrities you would like to see in a Def Jam style fighting game, and we'll reach out and respond to you, and possibly we can get your answers read in the next week episode.
Yeah,
but we're gonna jump on over to the People's Champ. Brent, I saw one that I liked a lot, and I can't even remember what it was. I think it was from Alex. Sorry, Alex, if it turns out it's not you. But
Alex says, most memorable mission, level, or quest from any game you've ever played.
Most memorable?
Yeah. So we'll make
I think
Alex
this
our
is the
champ.
one. Alex,
you're the champion.
You're the champion.
The champ of all champs.
Now, with great power comes great responsibility, Alex. No, but let me see. The most memorable.
The most memorable mission.
And I think this is just because I'm having a mental this spark right now just because of Halo, but probably the mall. The first time I ever played through the mall.
The mall, wow.
With co-op, whenever it was it was you and me.
It scared the hell out of me the first time I played that.
Yeah, but still well, not only that, how it's basically everything out of an action movie in one level. I never felt anything like that in a video game before.
Yeah.
It took it to the next level.
It really did.
You hop in, well, first you have to go through and blow out all those, I forget what they are, but it's these little vent looking things. You blow them out, and you the whole place is collapsing. So you hop in the Warthog, and it's you and your friend, and the person driving is under super pressure. Everything is being timed. Echo 419 just died. Everything's collapsing around you, and your homie's on the back shooting, and if one of you falls off, you're no, I gotta keep going. It's
to me though, even more memorable than that was the flood, bro.
The first time the flood arrived.
The first time you encounter the flood fucked me up.
Guilty
dude.
Spark.
Oh.
Or 343 Guilty.
But let's see. Another randomly memorable level for me in a game was that mission in Skyrim where you meet that talking dog and he takes you back to the fucking Daedric Prince and you got to do all this shit for the talking dog. That was a really weird mission.
That's
the
pretty funny.
No Russian level in Call of
Oh
Duty.
shit! Of course, that's
really
memorable.
fucked me. I wasn't ready for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a lot in Fallout 3 that could be spoken.
Oh yeah, a lot of memorable events in Fallout 3. A lot of memorable events in all the Bethesda titles. So.
Yeah, definitely.
But those are probably my top ones. The Dog and Skyrim and fucking No Russian.
Word. Let's jump on over to the rest of the questions. The listener questions. Thank you, Alex, for being such a champ.
Yes. We have Dylan Parton here. He says,
Hey,
character death that hit you the hardest.
Well, we all know which one hits you the hardest, Dylan. Echo 419. I remember that day. But me personally, what is that? You go, because I got to think about this.
I got to think about this too. It's kind of a hard one. The character death that hit me the hardest.
I think.
Oh man.
The one that I remember as a kid that stuck with me the most, I don't even remember his name, but I remember how it left me feeling depressed for a little while. It was Brothers in Arms. Whenever they were, believe it's right at it starts out at the beginning. It shows this whole scene happening, but by the time you reach it at the end of the game, it's your homie that you've been with the whole time. He's sitting there screaming. It's the guy with the glasses, and he just gets shot. He gets shot up, and it's super brutal and realistic, and it's just weird. It felt like real war to me. Never been to real war, but when you're a kid, that's this is the shit, dude.
Man, this is a hard question for me, and I know as soon as the show's over, I'm gonna think of a better answer.
Very same.
But man. It's so hard.
Oh, never mind. The baby dino in Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, fuck. Maybe John Marston in Red Dead Redemption. Really
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
If you haven't played Red Dead by now, then, sorry. That was sad as fuck.
My Baby and Max Payne.
Oh yeah. Let's see. What else we got? Thomas Shepard says, which will be the better selling game? Fallout 76 or Red Dead 2?
Red Dead 2.
Yeah, Red Dead 2.
That's it's way more mainstream and way more popular.
Not to mention, if it's anything like Grand Theft Auto, it'll make tons of money off of microtransactions and stuff, throughout the years. So I mean, overall, I think Red Dead is just going to be generally more profitable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, unless Fallout 76 pulls an Elder Scrolls, Skyrim or something, but I doubt that.
Not to mention, I have a firm sinking suspicion that Fallout 76, not Fallout 76, Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be one of the best games ever made. You know what I mean? I really think it is. I'm not just saying that.
Better hope it is. Because a lot of people are banking on that.
I mean, I feel like even Take-Two thinks it. You know what I mean? Everybody knows. You know what I mean?
Faux show.
But I still think Fallout 76 is going to be great, and I think it's going to sell well also. So, let's see. We got Sarah Brock. She says, what game do you think is the most overdone?
Overdone?
Overdone.
What does that mean?
Too many iterations of it, probably. Madden?
Oblivion?
Oblivion?
No, I mean Skyrim,
Elder Scrolls, you
my
mean?
bad. No, just the fact that it's been put out on everything forever since 2011.
I think she's talking about franchises.
Oh,
like Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
Something,
Assassin's Creed is number one for me.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's there's a bunch of them, and they're the ones that you see every year. But out of all of them, I guess I would have to say Assassin's Creed is my least favorite.
I'm going to say Madden. I'm so sick of Madden games. It's why do you have to make a new one every year?
I feel but
why can't you just make one Madden game and update the stats with patches?
That's my thing though. I feel like with those games, it's a given. It's going to happen. I don't even consider those games. I just consider them Madden. It's like a franchise. That exists on its own.
I'm just saying, I feel like the days where they need to make a new one every year are done. Why not just
definitely.
release a fucking DLC like Destiny or some shit? You know?
Shit, that'd be crazy.
Like, why not?
Yeah, definitely. No.
Let's see. We've got Steven Thomas here. He says, "What is a good way to get my wife into video games?"
Hey,
Ayo!
Congrats on that wife, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations, man. It's great to hear it. Great to see it. That being said, get her in there. Get her playing some Mario.
Wait a minute. So hold on. Just read me that question one more time. I want to see how he's asking.
He says, "What is a good way to get my wife into video games?" Multiplayer is definitely a good start.
Yeah.
You need to do it with her. And start with easy games like Mario Party, things like that.
Lego Star Wars games.
Yeah.
I feel like the Lego games are always fun because you can have fun, and it doesn't matter how many times she falls off the level or she'll be getting used to the controls while you can still enjoy it.
And generally, you can find something she's interested in, like Star Wars,
Harry
Potter, Indiana Jones,
Lord of the Rings,
Batman. They have something for everybody.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Now, but those games are great. It's tough to say because you kind of have to base it around what she likes. So it's like, okay, what kind of style game would she like? That's the real question there.
Yeah.
Do you think she's into the more serious stuff? Like, does she want a really hard-hitting story? Because that'd be easy to do with TellTale and things like that. You could get
not
her
anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, at least with the old shit, or even with Life is Strange. I feel like that's a really good way to get a beginner into games.
And you'll have a lot of content because that new season is coming out soon. And you could probably get the old Life is Strange for real cheap.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one that I think you could start out by holding her hand on, and then eventually she'd be so interested in the story that she'll just play it when you're not even there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might actually be a bad idea because then she'll just go off on her own and leave you behind.
And that's a good one to practice cameras and stuff for the third person perspective.
Exactly.
That's one thing that we as gamers don't particularly think about very often, just because it's become almost a muscle memory thing. But I think a lot of new gamers have a problem controlling their character and the camera simultaneously.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
We've already learned to crawl,
Exactly.
we're running now, we're sprinting, but for somebody who's just getting into video games, the idea of moving the camera while walking and strafing and stuff is literally like learning to crawl again.
It's funny because with VR, you see a lot of people having that problem. We've got these controllers that don't have sticks, and they have ways around it. You literally just point the controller where you want to go and push the button, and you start walking that direction. It's not that hard, but everybody's freaking out like, oh, what do I do? It's like, and you just got to learn to adapt to a new set of controls. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people have a problem with that, especially at an adult age. I know that it's easier to learn skill sets sometimes when you learn them at a younger age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're more focused on that. You don't have all this other shit going on.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that she can learn. And
she can. You just have to be patient and realize that it's not going to come naturally with
nope.
And you got to think about the things that she needs to learn to successfully transition into being a full gamer. If your end game is to get her into video games and playing them long term, you want to give her the tools to do that. So you need to pick games that she can practice her skills without getting frustrated.
Yeah, very slow movement. Try Gone Home. Games like that.
Gone Home, Firewatch. That would be a really good one.
There's no part of the game that is threatening, but it's still a really fun game and a really good narrative. So
but then again, you also have to think we need games that aren't boring too, to showcase that games can be just as exciting as movies and TV.
Of course.
Until Dawn is a great option if you want something like that.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart. Until Dawn has some button sequences that are actually kind of hard. That might be a little difficult. But that's a good one to train you, where all the buttons are. You know what I mean? You have to hit circle or you die. You learn where circle is at pretty quick. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that, learning the buttons. I'm just always thinking about the cameras. Yeah. No, that's the thing is like, I mean, picking games like that, yeah, it's gonna suck for like the first year or so while she's learning to get used to or familiar with the controller. But once that's done, I mean, I feel like you guys can play whatever.
Yeah, and once you get her to like an intermediate type point with her gameplay, maybe try like Borderlands or something when you're ready to take it to that next level. You know what I mean? Because I think that's a good step up. That's a good way to get into the first-person shooter scene. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what me and my girlfriend, my current girlfriend, did. You know, we started with some easier stuff like Minecraft. Minecraft is really fun.
That's a good one to get your bearings in a first-person perspective for sure.
Yeah, and then as soon as she got used to the camera and stuff in Minecraft, we jumped into Borderlands, and like she did just fine in Borderlands. You know, like. And
that's a good one because you can kind of like, pay a little extra attention, you know what I mean? Revive when you need to revive, give good weapons to your girlfriend. So you can kind of make up for like lack of skill with like overpowered weapons, you know, make sure they get all the good loot and stuff, and it can kind of like balance out the gameplay.
And you still get to have fun.
Yeah, it's not a lot of fun.
You have to sit there and like,
it's not a bad game at all,
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, So
there you go, guys. That's our viewer questions this week.
Yeah. So now we're going to jump into the last part of the show. Brent, take us in the time machine for this week in gaming history.
Guys, we're hopping in the time machine. We're going back. We're sticking to one franchise this week.
One franchise.
One franchise, and it is the notorious Resident Evil franchise.
Okay.
We have September 22nd, 1999. Can you guess what Resident Evil game came out that day?
September 22nd.
For PlayStation 1, and then later came to other consoles.
I'm going to say Resident Evil 2.
Ooh, you're close.
0.
No. 3.
3. Okay.
Right between 2 and 0.
Yeah, dang it. I tried.
You were so close.
I forgot 3 came to 1.
Yeah.
I thought it came to PS2.
It did eventually, I think. They re-released it for
it was like
GameCube
Nemesis,
and
right?
stuff. Yeah, Nemesis, bro.
That's what it was.
That was that jam. But then, September 27th, 2011, this is actually a remaster of an older... I think this is the 4th installment of Resident Evil. Resident Evil Code Veronica.
No,
X.
Resident Evil 4 is Resident Evil 4.
Well, no, I mean, but it's the 4th one they made.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily like, how like Dishonored, Death of an Outsider isn't technically like Dishonored 3, but it's the 3rd one they made, Code Veronica came out a long time ago in like 2000 on Dreamcast, but they remade it in 2011 with remastered graphics and, extra cutscenes and stuff. So there you go.
I like it.
Resident Evil Code Veronica X and Resident Evil 3.
Sweet. Okay. Well, we're back in the present day, guys. Remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. Well, if you're watching it here, please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know every time we post an episode, which is every week, Wednesday mornings. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Aljaafreh Jamal and Brent at Brent has 1. That's the number 1. And check out GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners, later.
Good.